It was good. How are we doing, everybody?
Fantastical.
What a week.
It's been so rough already. Oh my god.
Yeah, the first 10 days of this year, culminating today being my birthday, has just been fucking such a train wreck. Like, it's
Happy
been really good.
birthday
Happy birthday.
to you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Finally 21.
Yay.
Finally legal age.
Been a long time coming. At least
That's why
30.
he had to shave his beard.
Yeah.
He had to
My
match
appearance.
his original driver's license there.
Jesus Christ, you don't want to see that photo.
Kind of now really do. Definitely do now.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So there is, and this is kind of, are we live? Is everybody watching us now?
Yep.
Sure.
Should
Awesome.
be.
So I don't anticipate, this is kind of just a general thing for you guys, but also for the people out there.
Oh
that
my
there's going to
god,
be
I'm
any
so
sort of
excited. I wish I
interruption
could wet
in
my
service
pants.
as far as our gaming or anything like that.
Please tell me that was still muted.
Was it still muted? Are we still muted?
No. Like the sound alert, because I thought I thought I'd mute it, but I heard it on my end. So, uh-oh.
I don't have volume up on my end, so I can't
Me either.
alerts.
Sorry
Wow.
for subscribing for 5 months. Oh my god.
No, I actually was thinking my alerts were broken earlier today. And I went in and checked things and everything looked okay. And then all of a sudden they started working and now they're working when I don't need them working. Yeah, Venture gave me confirmation on that.
But so,
Let's see what I can do about
so kind of the up and down. One, my company got sold last week, so I am going to be out of a job here in about 6 weeks.
Holy shit.
Which sucks. On that same day, I found out that we're being booted out of the apartment here.
What the fuck?
Someone, I'm not going to name them on stream, but somebody who used to be a very good friend of mine decided to end our friendship over their personal decisions, what the fuck ever, their choice, but then chose to go around and like 2 months later decided to get in touch with apartment management here and get us kicked out, basically. So that's
This
been
person
fucked up.
needs to be handled.
Trust me, yes. But so that same day, when we found that out, Em and I, my wife, decided to go buy a house, and I, sight unseen, got a loan for a huge amount of money, and we just got our approval back from the seller. They said they'd sell it to us, so we're moving into like a 1939 old house. It's this gorgeous old.
Congratulations.
House.
What a birthday.
Congrats.
So yeah, and today's my birthday. I'm but yeah. So it's
Happy
been,
birthday
first
to
10
you.
Days, the first
Happy
10 days
birthday
of
to
this year. Whoa.
Shit.
So you
Lordy,
just got a haunted house
lordy.
on your birthday. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So with that, I'm gonna punish all of you.
Hey!
Well, hey, I just want to say before we do intro and everything, if we get those sound alerts, please try to run, like, just... Because midstream, I don't know what going into the site and altering it would do while we're live. So if you guys hear alerts, I apologize. I've muted everything I know to mute. It works when it wants to work, and it hates me the rest of the time. But, all right, 5:32. Let's get the intro going. Thank you for joining us on the playground for Vampire the Masquerade Monday nights. I'm Pixie, variety streamer. You have to forgive me. I'm exhausted today. I'm joined tonight by my storyteller Knox and my friends Scott, who plays Idaho, Zack plays Victor, and Martha plays Michael. And yeah, we have had two very interesting sessions for myself with my solo. And last week things just went crazy.
To the wall.
Yeah, I'll let Knox give you guys an update on that. But let's, other than Knox's misfortune and fortune, how has everybody else been doing?
Doing pretty good.
Well, I don't have a new house, and I kind of feel inferior.
I know, like, fuck. You had to beat us, right? We said December, and you're like, oh, okay, fuck this.
I will not be commenting as I sit in my parents' home.
You're trying to get my mom to move out. What the hell?
And of course, you guys, if there are video or audio issues, please let us know in the chat. We'll get those fixed. And yes, thank you, Scott, for the sub. I just didn't want to, like, I was thrown off by the sound at that point. I was like, what?
No problemo.
Oh, and Knox in the chat. Ventru says, "Shit, sorry to hear. Hope your 2022 will look up from here on out."
I mean, losing a job of almost a decade kind of sucks a little bit, but for the first time in a decade, I've got a whole bunch of options. You know, my
Nice.
wife has a great job, and we're moving into our first house. Like,
Which is glorious.
so, you know, if nothing else, I'm going to get to figure out how to renovate a house because
Yeah.
nobody else got time.
So that's actually what my cousin does up in Pittsburgh.
Might need his help.
I will put you guys in touch.
Sweet. All right. Are we ready to get started tonight?
We are.
All right. Then, in that case, welcome everyone to our Monday night Vampire the Masquerade, Philly by Night, 5th edition, session 42. That magical thing. Which is funny because
The answer to everything.
with all the solos and everything, we're so far past 50. We're like heading towards probably 70.
Poof.
So
Oof. Awesome.
let's do a very, very brief recap of last week's the big hits from last week, as we might say. So last week, the trio of the coterie headed back to Fairmont against the perhaps better thoughts and the wishes of some of the other kindred of Philadelphia, and managed to prey upon the heartstrings of the wolves of Fairmont and managed to talk their way
looking for a
into an
friend.
almost impossible situation, meeting Mika, the experiment, convincing Mika to come with them to meet Abraham. The group found themselves trailed hotly by members of the Ivory Tower. They met with Abraham. They procured a hard drive with unknown contents as of now. And they then were confronted by Fairchild of Haddonfield and Fairchild and Skro, the sheriff of Philadelphia, both of whom met quick at the hands, or rather claws, of Mika.
It wasn't Vic.
Not this time.
We were all innocent. We're all
As
innocent.
the group ended, or as the group escaped, rather,
We had
Ruby stole a cop car and made for a diversion while everybody else got out. Mika was returned home to Fairmont safely, and the coterie returned to Ten Toes Records to find Ruby shot but alive. hunting end to the evening. Everyone retired, which leaves us with night. So, before we start, let's do some housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Damn it.
Now, Al, because the events of the previous session were so important, and it's kind of difficult to bridge the gap here. I would say that the events of your solo will still probably occur after tonight.
Okay.
So,
So everything you guys might have read in the recap for my session doesn't exist yet.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
not yet.
Not yet.
So,
It was a flash forward.
Yeah. We're playing Lost style.
It was no. It was just a vision of a future,
let's get
a premonition, so to speak.
down into it. Instead of going through what everyone does, they immediately wake up tonight. Let's go to the conference room with the hard drive.
That's where I wanted to go.
So,
Mm-hmm.
before you guys plug this in and observe the contents, what do you do? Do you tell anybody what you're doing? Do you make sure that the people are on watch out? How are you preparing for this?
Oh, I would like to see Sense the Unseen.
Okay. So since the unseen, that's going to be your wits and aspects.
Oh, at this point, I should know this.
Three and one, so 2 and 2 with your hunger.
Yeah, I got real hungry.
Not real hungry. A little munchy though.
Big money and go.
So you don't see anything. There's nothing out of the ordinary that you perceive. There's no one hanging around in the conference room. As far as you can perceive, it is just the coterie.
So if someone, let's say, for example, if someone was obfuscated inside the conference room, if you make physical contact with someone who's obfuscated, they come out of obfuscation, right?
So we could just walk around the room windmilling.
Let's just run around the room.
Yeah, right.
Sloshing just through the room.
Yeah, that's why, like, before every conference.
Maybe
protocol.
that's why they have the dancers in What We Do in the Shadows. There could be somebody in the big, in the judgment room. So they have to send the dancers out dancing like that and make sure nobody's hiding.
I mean, the conference room's not that
Council
big.
room.
Yeah, let's just send Brutus. I'll send Brutus just to run through the whole room.
So yes, if you did that, there is nothing that would prevent, like if you bumped into somebody, one of two things would happen. Either that would break them out of obfuscate, or you suddenly become very aware that there is a weird lump in the rug that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And at that point, then it's kind of like, I don't see anything,
But
I know something's there.
exactly.
So yes,
if we're really that concerned about security in the conference room, one thing we could do is set up security cameras in the conference room.
Wouldn't we already have done that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we did, we should look at the security camera feed, because not all obfuscation can hide from security cameras, as Vic found out.
Good idea.
But some can.
Al can.
Anyway, let's see what's on that hard drive.
So you guys have done Sense the Unseen. Are you telling anybody? Are you guys, or are you just kind of trying to stealth and do this?
Until we know what's on the drive, I'm very hesitant to tell many people at all. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just us. Let's just see what's on there.
Okay. So when you plug the hard drive in, I'm assuming Al will be doing this since she's the techie of the group.
Yeah, I'm like 40 meters away.
When you plug it in, it is a folder that has, there's some documents in there. There's some photos in there that definitely place Kindred at the naval base that are not there obviously as prisoners. They're there as guests. There is one particular file that is labeled as just as one. It is 1.wave. When you open that up, there's a garble. You can hear a whole bunch of people's voices. And then you hear a voice that you haven't heard since you sent him to the final death.
I can't hear.
You hear that familiar, well, as long as we're in business together, then I guess we can proceed. But I'm not entirely understanding why I shouldn't have your asses thrown in as well.
You're on mute.
I didn't
Can you
hear
hear
the
me?
lead up to the well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I
Okay.
can. Yeah.
But it has done that thing where it gets weaker and then you get punchy. So
Yeah.
Then let us take care of this ahead of time.
he's just like, fuck it again.
Aw, that sucks.
Well, I'm not sure if like he can take the dampener off. Like maybe that's what's really filtering out the low noise. I don't know.
Nada.
Yeah, you probably just have to reset.
How about now?
Yep.
It's
For the amount of money that I spent on that fucking microphone. So let me start over. You hear a familiar voice you haven't heard since you sent him to the final death. That familiar rasp. Well, we have an accord of sorts. Why shouldn't I throw your asses in a cage as well? Ruby starts actively trembling. She is shaking like a leaf. The next voice you hear is undoubtedly the prince. He says, well, Conrad. He says, I realize that you find your own being distasteful. He said, but the rest of us are making good money. He said, so I'll continue to feed you all of the layabouts and kindred from across Philadelphia. And you can lock them up and make all of these little idiots go away. So in turn, you'll stay out of my way. And I can remake Philadelphia the way it's supposed to. You hear a snarling as if Conrad is going to say something, and then you hear another very familiar voice. Victoria Addington stops him and says, "Dear, the answer here isn't just to get rid of them. The answer here is to figure out which ones can be re-educated, reintegrated into kindred society. So we can get rid of the ones that we don't need or that we don't want." She says, "But the answer isn't just to get rid of all of them. That's going to make us look bad eventually." The discussion goes on between the three of them for a bit.
Indeed.
And then you hear another voice. Carmelo.
Another dead person.
Carmelo speaks up, saying, "Well, the old man's never going to agree to any of this. Even if he agrees or thought that some of them needed to go, he would never ever put himself or any of the rest of them in the hands of the humans. So we will need to deal with him privately." The file ends abruptly. There are other photos, other audio recordings, many of them including those same people, detailing plans, detailing how they were going to eventually get rid of Carmine. But in terms of proof, this is as close to a smoking gun as one is likely to find.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is absolutely glorious.
And we need to duplicate it.
A
this hard
cruel and icy and contented smile starts spreading across Michael's face.
Make copies of everything. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the first thing that
Right.
Michael says. It's like, let's make a copy and let's upload this into a cloud.
Gotta get my hoodie on.
Now, so Idaho steps forward and says, I did have that conversation with Gigi at the meeting where Charles had to have all of us killed or shot, interrupted, or whatever the case may have been. And Gigi did say, if we find the evidence, he will upload it into the network and make sure everybody is able to see it. So just an option.
Totally. Thanks for the reminder, Idaho. Yeah, as long as we have copies and versions safely in multiple places,
Mm-hmm.
then we can pass it on to Gigi. What do you think, Al?
Sounds good.
All right. How do you copy these?
Control T.
Right? Like, do I?
I mean, like, Michael's like staring at Al, being like, okay, can we make copies now? I need these to be
Is
copied.
that something I need to roll
Are we
for?
copying?
I mean,
No.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
So how exactly are you planning on? Are you just going to head to? Are you going to attempt to contact him or Sonny? Are you just going to head down into the sewers, back to the subway station and go to find him? Are you going to, before you do any of that, are you going to take other copies and distribute them, or what is the group going to do? How are you planning on
Well, one copy
disseminating
needs to
or-
go into a safe for insurance purposes
so-
that Moira needs to probably be the only one to know about it. Should anything happen to us, she can.
Yeah, Moira
Release it.
goes and takes one copy to a safety deposit box because she can do that. And then we have one copy in the safe with us up top.
We can copy it to multiple clouds. I mean, now that we have
Yeah.
it, we can make it virtually impossible to delete it.
But we also don't want it falling into kind hands. Like, sorry, food.
kind.
Oh, I thought you said kind, like people that would be nice to the common.
No. We still need to we can't guarantee that we can't have this
You
escape
still
and
need to
be
keep the masquerade.
exactly.
Oh, right.
So we have to be a little bit careful about this.
I hang up in the middle of dialing Tom Brokaw.
And we can't let Victoria know that we know she's part of this
Yep.
until it all is comes out.
So I guess we have a few things we're doing before we attempt to contact Gigi. Oh, there's Tom. Hello, Tom. I got you.
That was spam risk. I'm going to tell them everything.
Answer the phone and say, yes, have you heard about the vampire?
I really feel bad for every spammer who calls this house because it has become a fun little game for me.
She's evil.
So we'll take all those precautions, but then
You know they can't hang up on you, right?
eventually they can.
They have hung up on. I was getting them to hang up.
Well, they will hang up on you if you.
Oh, I never say anything violent or just.
I've had them hang up on me before when I was playing the I'm a mindless old man bit to try to tease them into trying to do their thing. But anyway. So once we have all that taken care of, I guess whenever we're ready.
Shouldn't
now
we
we've
just?
got it.
I guess we can reach out to Sunny or have Sunny talk to Gigi for us.
If we're
And
ready,
just send a message, be like, we might have the thing worth seeing our mugs again.
Yeah. I mean, whenever we feel like we're ready to play that card, I can contact her. Of course, I would imagine that once we make this available to the Nosferatu, the question's going to be, all right, let's broadcast it. If we're not ready for it to be broadcast just yet.
So this is where what I'm wondering, do we want to call a meeting or something of the Elysium and have everybody present and have it displayed that way?
Make a nice video.
Yeah, like an art
Little
installation.
PowerPoint,
Like an art installation. Have that whole bit on repeat.
So let me ask an out of game character question. Actually, you know what? I won't ask it out of game because Idaho is new to the scene. So in character, so wait a minute. So I thought Elysium was a platform for the Camarilla. Is that do other groups call for meetings at Elysium?
No. Okay.
No, I'm asking. I don't know.
Yeah. The game player, the game master.
Oh, I didn't notice that. No, I said no.
No. As a meta discussion that at the very least Michael would certainly know, probably also Al. Elysium is specific to the Camarilla. One thing that and worth mentioning, one thing that would probably make calling Elysium very difficult right now is, as far as you know, there's no keeper of Elysium currently.
Oh yeah.
There's also no sheriff, which means there's going to be any sort of mass meeting where
Forgetting about the corpses.
You know, as a side note, I could also say this in character. In our attempt to get evidence to take down Charles, we have forced Charles underground.
Mm-hmm.
Now his sheriff is dead. We're dismantling his power structure just by trying to get this evidence.
Now, yes, but his
When we're
power
in
structure is also is also being attempted. Like Victoria's trying to take the power for herself.
Mm-hmm. That's why she wants.
She's running a double coup.
That's why she's wanted me to get him gone, because she wants it all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she ain't gonna get it. So, if we wanted to communicate something to the vampire community,
How would
how
anarchs
would
go
we
about
do
doing
that
it?
without rousing a ton of suspicion?
And without breaking the masquerade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're just looking for a way to get this out there for people to see, again, GG might be the best option for that.
Yeah, I just want to so Knox, who was at that first gathering at the theater where we made the accusations? Who were those other vampires again?
The ones from the North Anarchs, the ones that hated us.
So there were a huge group of people who were
the ones with the power that were like listening or like adjudicating the accusation against us.
So if you're talking about the Walnut Street Theater night, then the power, I guess you could say the power groups there, the Primogen obviously were behind Charles, the Hecata, who weren't there for very long, but definitely threw in with you guys to at least prevent Charles from declaring praxis.
Mm-hmm.
The Northeast Anarchs were there. I don't know if you could legitimately call them a power structure within the city, but they were certainly there and actively participating in the meeting. Gigi and the Nosferatu were there, as well as a lot of the residents of Philadelphia. Samantha was there.
Who could forget that?
Threnody and Raoul were there.
Threnody and Raoul were there.
Noel.
Shaw was there eventually.
Yeah. And everybody that is anybody in Philly was there, right?
So yeah, definitely have to reach out to Gigi.
So how confident are we that no one is listening to this meeting right now that we don't want to be listening to this meeting?
I mean, is there a way that somebody could sweep for bugs? I mean, this conference room is in the club or in our tower? I thought this was the one in our tower.
It's in the apartment.
Yeah, so that's the one that's like supremely secure.
Ruby at this point, kind of, she's still visibly shaken up after hearing Conrad's voice, but she kind of raises a hand shakily and is like, they have to know we're coming for them now.
Well,
she's like, after what happened last night, the sheriff's dead. They shot me. The fucking, she's like, we just left. We left the door. They know the wolves are out of the forest now. I've come out of the forest at least once. That's got to be causing problems. She's like, and that freak down there, we just left the door open for him. We don't know what he's done, where he's gone, if he's still down there. If she's like, they have to have seen all of this. They have to know it's all tied back to us. We have to assume that even with this information,
the clock has already started and there's somebody out to get us.
Yeah, that they're actively hunting us now.
I am so glad you have joined our coterie, Ruby. You're right. They are. All right.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So it's just another day that ends in Y, really.
Like, she's going on and I'm just kind of like,
This is par for the course.
Yeah, I mean, it may be all new to you, sweetie, but this is how we roll.
So here's the reason I asked if we feel pretty confident that no one is observing this meeting. I just had a doubt. If Idaho doesn't know this information, let me know. I can't remember if this was shared with everybody. Shaw.
No.
Insta-no.
Sorry. So Shaw asked us to include him if we were going to set up Charles,
Oh, that's right.
right? And the less of a threat Charles is, the more of a threat Shaw is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaw to me, as an outsider looking in, I mean, I'm not an outsider, but as a new guy, Shaw scares me more than Charles does. Way more than Charles does.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now. I mean, it seems like every time Charles tried to flex, we just popped him in the forehead and knocked him down. We've not been able to do that to Shaw. So Shaw scares me a lot. The only thing we have on Shaw that I'm aware of is we tell him we're getting ready to take out Charles, show up. I mean, is there some way we could use this moment to get him in a situation where we could take him out?
Ooh. Possibly.
We have floodlights.
I mean, I don't know what it would take to get rid of somebody like Shaw unless we went back to the forest and said, hey, Micah, could you rip him apart? I mean, I don't know. But if we somehow contacted the Camarilla and said, we want to negotiate, which would maybe get Charles out of the darkness. And then we say to Shaw, hey, guess what? Charles is coming, just to set them both up. Is that a possibility?
It's a possibility.
Otherwise, what I'm thinking is if we give this information to GG, let's say GG takes it and shares it to Vampire Facebook or whatever the hell.
Distributes it.
It's going to be a big problem for Charles.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem for the Camarilla, but maybe not as much of a problem for them as it is for Charles.
No, it's going to be a huge problem because their second is also corrupt. So it's like not only Charles, but Victoria was in on this. And this is like proving them against all of vampire kind.
I get it. And
they know that that there's proof against them out there in our possession. So we need to copy these and spread these immediately. As for Shaw and Charles going up against each other, I think that's a viable play. But I don't know how. But what would be the end result? Like, do you think that Charles could possibly take on Shaw enough to weaken him where we could finish him off? And then what would, like...
With shot.
What? So I'm just thinking out loud here. If we share this information, then we're done. We share the information. We see where the chips fall. To me, the point is to weaken the Camarilla, not just to get rid of Charles so another asshole can take over.
It's got, if we're gonna make this move, it needs to be big.
Yeah.
This could be the way for the Anarchs to take more power. Well, another thing standing in the way of the Anarchs taking power is Shaw. And what weakens the Camarilla helps Shaw unless we get rid of Shaw at the same time. So I was thinking, well, Charles has gone into hiding. Is there a way we could compel him out of hiding? We've got this evidence. Let's have a sit down. And then we go to Shaw and say, this is when we were going to set Charles up, which brings Shaw out of hiding. The whole idea is if we can create a situation where we know where Charles and Shaw will be, can we use that as a way to take them both out? Is that a possibility?
Ruby, kind of looking at her feet, says, he's never going to come out of hiding. His right hand is dead.
Well, if he's not going to come out of hiding, then we can take out.
I don't know though, but I mean, would he? I mean, he's pretty full of himself. If we enticed him in just the right way, couldn't we lure him out?
Maybe.
Ruby, how is if the sheriff is a position like it is in the humans world, it's a chosen or elected position, right? Sheriffs they're not like normal cops.
I don't know how it works for vampires. Maybe they know.
So if
I was under the impression that it was a title that was bestowed upon.
so we have to assume Charles is now looking for a replacement.
Hmm.
So is that maybe a way to try to figure out where he is, or to bait a hook, or do we need to be worried about who he's going to replace is going to be worse than the last one was?
So who would we put up? Who do you suggest?
Ruby looks at Vic and she goes, "He could do it."
Wait, we're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
he knows who Vic is.
No, but if I'm the Baron of West Philadelphia, he can be the sheriff.
Well, once you are. But if we're trying to use Vic as bait, if I'm understanding this right now, if I'm not mixing up something, but
I'm up on this.
I'm gonna cop to being a bit lost here.
I was under the assumption that Ruby is suggesting that we put up someone as a new sheriff to audition of sorts. Is that what she's
Is that
saying?
what Ruby is suggesting?
To lure him out by offering a new sheriff?
They would never choose an anarch to be the sheriff, right?
She goes, "I don't know. I have no idea how any of this is done. But obviously the sheriff has to be someone who's strong,
Yeah.
because it's got to be the person who's got to be able to enforce Charles's will, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Who's stronger that we know than okay, Mika. But after
So I don't know how the politics here work, but I would be super surprised if the Camarilla ever considered an anarch to be the sheriff. I would be super surprised. And if we're just spitballing on ways to draw Charles out of hiding, if Charles is auditioning for a new sheriff, that's one thing. If we let him know that we have information that could basically bury his ass, that just seems much more compelling than him just trying to fill a vacant position. Otherwise, we just share the information and see what happens.
Ruby,
Because here's the thing. At this point, they're coming for us. They know that we have something, especially that we've left all the signals out there. We could set up an ambush or a trap here for whoever's coming for that.
Charles ain't coming for that.
Victoria might be.
Ruby kind of says,
which would weaken the cam and then bring Charles to kneel.
Or he just
Ruby kind of like, okay, I don't know this world. And she looks at you, Al, and she goes, all I have is you and my friends here. She says, but do we ever really think that we're going to be able to get rid of these assholes?
If not, we just make efforts to continue to weaken them.
Yeah. This isn't a one and done thing.
She goes, no, but if we've got something like this, why don't we use this to force them to give us more power?
Well, the blackmail was already being suggested. You're the one that brought up this whole luring him out bullshit, which, I mean, has its merits, I suppose, but blackmail's just so much more fun.
Yeah, I also had mentioned if we could use this as a way to bring Charles out of hiding and then get Shaw in to take them out, because I continue to worry that the weaker that we make the Camarilla, the more it increases Shaw's strength, and he starts to look at us as the threat that he needs to come after us. It's not just us versus the Camarilla. We have to.
What if we, with using the information we have, what if we use that to pit them against each other?
Well, that's why I was saying, is there a way? Because Shaw wants to be present when we take out Charles.
Right.
Shaw just wants to be part of it.
Yeah, he wants to be part of it. If we can put Charles and Shaw in the same room, what kind of amazing fireworks would that possibly create?
So we tell them both that we have, that we know that the other has information on them and is planning to use it against them.
Or
Draw them into the same spot using the same lie on each of them and watch the fireworks.
we don't even have to lie to Shaw. All we have to do is get Charles to agree to a meeting and say, and then we do the little magic X on the door with the chalk or whatever, and Shaw's going to show up. So the real thing is, can we get Charles to show up by letting him know we've got some hardcore information on him and we're willing to negotiate rather than make it go public?
Sounds pretty solid.
If we want to take that route.
Meanwhile, we still send it to Gigi.
Of course. I mean, we got it backed up. I mean, the point is not to.
Why would we send it to Gigi if we're not trying to get it out and we're trying to use it as lore?
Because
I think
Because then we have because then
We already have insurance.
I mean, again, and you guys have to tell me because I don't really know. If we take out, let's say just by some stroke of luck, we managed to take out Charles and Victoria. And Scro's now dead. Does that weaken the Camarilla sufficiently for us, or do they just get somebody else from the Primogen and we're back in the same, dealing with the same shit?
That one I don't have an answer for.
It'd be
Ruby,
nice. Go ahead.
Ruby raises her hand again and says, so I don't know if this has occurred to anybody else, but it's something I'm definitely curious about. How did somebody who's underground and is not allowed out end up in possession of all of this?
Well, he was locked up for a reason. The guy obviously has skills they're unaware of.
At the same time, I think that, he was still of interest and used to them. So, of course, cage him.
Or
Keep
they
him
could-
around.
I mean, I don't know how it works with people that are that old.
Because if he was no use, they would have just... He'd been done for. So, how do we figure out the significance that he had to them?
It appears that they were scared of him. And maybe we should be too, but I don't know.
Maybe we curried some favor with him.
Maybe. I mean, we're all about anarchy anyway, right?
Exactly. So, I am of the chaotic mind that I like both ideas.
I mean, I'm not suggesting that we set up a deal with Charles to actually, I don't know that blackmailing Charles is going to do much for us. He's already in hiding, like we've discussed. His sheriff is now dead. Abraham is now out. The Camarilla have to be really freaking out right now. In fact, a smart Camarilla would probably say maybe they are coming out after us, but if they come after us and kill us, it doesn't make those problems go away. They have other shit to deal with now. They are in serious trouble right now. So what I'm thinking is we need to figure out a way to leverage this to really cripple the Camarilla, not just take out Charles, and not weaken a city that makes it easier for Shaw to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if we manage to pull Charles out of hiding to some kind of meeting, the intent is to thrust he and Shaw into the same room, not to make any real deal with Charles. I would never want to make a deal with him.
No. My suggestion was basically, fake blackmail.
Yeah.
Suggest to him we have info on him well, we don't have to give it to him though.
No, we could
The info is the bait that gets him in the room with Shaw.
We could send him copies of it somehow. I don't know how we do it, but
Take some, print some shit off, redact half of it, just to give enough that he realizes we're serious, and we
Some
take
screenshots with your phone.
screenshots with the phone.
Just a couple of screenshots on the phone, and that's it.
I don't mean how we share it. We can make complete copies and give him total copies of everything. How we get it to him. You know what I'm saying? Do you have his email address?
Do we not have a phone number or email for him?
We have Victoria. We know how to get her hold of Victoria.
And she'll
So
definitely.
So whoa! Time out, really quickly. In Idaho's wonderful processing all of this, I'm wondering if it's occurred to anybody that, like, not going through with what we've told everybody we were going to go through with, in order for them to help us in this process, is going to bite us in the butt in the long run.
Not go through with what?
The plan to expose who was responsible and hold them accountable.
Well, that's
because if we have more allies, then we can take on Shaw all together instead of trying to get Shaw mixed up in all of this again. Like, I don't understand, like, just because the Camarilla might have to reorganize house, we've already made allies with werewolves and the Gangrel and a bunch of other.
Not the Gangrel.
I was going to say Ruby raises her
Gangrel
hand.
is still.
The wolves made it very clear that they didn't want to see us again.
No, the wolves and the Gangrel, we got good from them, and now we're done.
One and done.
The guy in white, the very last thing he said to us was that he's glad to see that there's vampires who will keep their word, and he'll remember that.
Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, if we had the werewolves as legit allies, we could just stroll into this theater and just take over.
But that breaks the truce. Like, the werewolves have to stay in the park. Werewolves can't come out the park.
The power we have right now is the ability to continue to undermine the Camarilla, but at the same time, I'm just concerned with that giving power to the Sabbat as opposed to giving power to us. But I don't think anybody is suggesting that we don't actually go public with this information. Stick it to the Camarilla. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, information's getting out. That's no. We're just trying to figure out if we can get Charles and Shaw into a room before the information gets out. That's why I was saying we'd still send it to Gigi. We don't care if Gigi sends it out. That's not the point. We're not trying to withhold it. We're trying to use it as just bait, basically.
So let me ask an out of game question. So we reviewed all this information.
Okay.
Was there anybody else from the Camarilla that were involved besides Charles and Victoria?
So there are other voices on there that you don't recognize. The primary ones that you recognize are Victoria, Charles, Conrad, the man in the trench coat.
Yeah.
And Carmelo.
And it's all audio. We don't have like video of this.
No.
So
you do have. So one of the photos definitely shows Carmelo at the naval base. And one of the photo, in that same photo, it's a kind of behind over the shoulder shot of somebody who maybe it's Victoria, maybe it's not. It's not possible to clearly tell who that is. But one thing, so I guess the better way to answer that question is, after parsing through all the materials, are there other people in there? Yes. Are they parties to which you can point fingers at? No.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who might not hear that audio and go, I know who the fuck that is.
But we don't.
That also, that just means you don't.
So again, I'm just kind of concerned what's going to happen, or what I would expect is going to happen. Let's say Gigi, again, releases this on Vampire Facebook. The smart move on the part of the Primogen Council would be to hang Charles and just nominate somebody else as prince.
Are you asking?
No, this is in character now. This is me just saying this to the group. So again, I hope we didn't go through all this just to exchange one prince for another and things to be the way they were before. This is a real opportunity to really gut them if we, do this the right way.
Say we tear it all down.
Pit Victoria against Charles, pit Shaw against Charles, wreck the Camarilla, use this as a way to, we could use this maybe as just show some of this information to some other people to garner allies and strengthen our own position. There are different things we could do with this.
Yeah, go for it.
So, what? Now that you guys have seen this information, now that you guys have parsed through this information, what is your first step?
Well, I would imagine one thing that would be great, one thing that I'm really curious about is, do we have any way to determine what's going on out there in the city? Like, how are the cam reacting to what just happened? Are they going crazy? Does everything seem normal?
We probably have to hit up. Probably not a NOS would be good for this one.
Yeah,
maybe a wall, kind of have ear to the ground.
Sabine always has some pretty good information about what's going on.
Yeah, I say we just hit up our contacts and just see what.
I'm kind of surprised that all of our phones aren't ringing off the hook or full of messages, or are they?
No, actually, funny you should mention. No, you are not receiving any. You haven't received any phone calls. You haven't received any sort of messages. Michael, I would even go so far as to say that even your personal voicemail and your business email is remarkably bland and boring.
So,
if we're being hunted, they might be staying away from us for their own safety. Shit.
Yeah, but that would. Oof. I could be thinking incorrectly here, but man, they would have had to really move fast to do something like. Well, let's call our let's call Threnody and Sabine, and I can call Sunny. Let's just kind of gauge how the city is reacting.
Good idea.
So let's break this down into a couple different actions. So who are you contacting first, and what are you? Okay, well, let's just start there. Who are you contacting first?
Michael, do you want to call Sabine or Threnody?
You're muted.
What do you think, Idaho? Who should I call?
Who do you call first? Who do you want to call first?
Sabine.
We'll end up calling everybody, but
yeah. Let's do one big conference call.
Right.
Now, I'm assuming. Okay, just backtracking real quick. Obviously, we would have shared everything with Michael of what happened in the last session, ICly. And one of the things that we did before we went out to the park was we called Threnody and Sabine and asked them, the best way to approach the wolves. So they knew we were going out there. Yeah. So they already had kind of a little heads up. So if we call them again, that may not be entirely unexpected. I think Sabine would be a good idea.
Okay,
so what I was hoping to suggest was trying to maybe keep this evidence, just necessarily having the backups and reaching out first to maybe the Hecate and some of our other possible allies and strengthening that before we take action against them. But that's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think that's a good idea. It's just the only thing I'm worried about is the time frame. If we are currently being headhunted, then we don't want to take too long before our heads roll.
No, these calls were here were just to try and get a sense of what the cam is doing, because so far
I understand the calls. I'm responding to what Michael said about keeping it close to the vest for a while, and I'm just
not for a while. It's just we can contact a couple people the first thing this evening. Right now, we can immediately reach out to the allies while making sure that the copy is dispersed throughout the locations. Once we have put them up to date and see who's in our back pocket, we can make the big moves and have backup
Yes, definitely.
So, who are you going to contact first?
Let's call Sabine and just to kind of see if everything seems like it's normal or if she's like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? You know, that just to gauge the reaction in the city, if there's any reaction at all.
Okay, so who is going to contact Sabine, and are you guys? Oh yes, okay. So are you guys going to drive out to Guilt? Or are you just going to call? Are you
Oh,
okay? And are you going to? Is this going to be a speakerphone call, or is this going to be somebody making an individual call?
I guess that's up to Michael, but it's just,
silent speakerphone, like speakerphone so we can hear, but they don't know we're there.
I mean, it's just the four of us, right? It's or the five of
Ruby.
us because Ruby's here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is in the conference room with us, right?
Okay. I'm not muted. I'm unpictured. Jesus Christ. I can reach out to Sabine and be like, can you meet ASAP?
To answer your question, Idaho, yes. As far as you know, you are the only 5 in the room.
Right.
Okay.
I would suggest.
Not to make you paranoid or anything.
You would suggest you
super
reaching out to Sabine?
Are you kidding to me? Are you kidding right now? I'm so paranoid. I would just suggest call Sabine.
Yeah. So
And-
I'm gonna call Sabine.
And just instead of asking for a meeting, just kind of see if everything seems like it's just another normal night.
So I will call Sabine, as I said.
Okay, so when you call Guilt, it picks up and a young woman answers with, "You've called Guilt, where you can leave yours behind. How can I help you?"
I thought I would have been calling her cell phone. Do we not have direct contacts with each other at the moment?
No, she is routing. She has been routing all of her calls through the club.
Okay. Could you? Hi, this is. I need to talk to Sabine. If you could let her know that Michael Starwell is calling.
There's a pause for a second, and the young woman's voice says, "She is unfortunately in the middle of an important meeting. Can I take a message?" Or she says, "I don't know how long they're going to be in there for, but the 4 people who went in there seemed very adamant that they needed to speak with her. So, and I don't know how long they're going to be."
Well, this might be very important, and it might need to get to her before the end of their meeting. Who were these 4 individuals?
She said, "I'm not at liberty to say currently."
Yeah, I figured.
She says, "But I can tell you that this was very, very unexpected, as Sabine was supposed to be hosting an event tonight, and I have a room full of, shall we say, irritated customers. You weren't calling about any like a tasting or anything, were you?"
No. Sounds lovely. Wish I had heard, but concerned for the state of Sabine. Are we hosting the tower right now?
She
Nice.
She says, "I'm not sure what that means."
Yeah, she's probably just a regular old human.
Mm-hmm.
Is she in the room with a bunch of suits?
Well, one of them was wearing a very nice suit. But no, frankly, one of them looked homeless. But that's,
Uh-oh.
she says, if you want, I can take your name. You said your name was Michael, right? If you want to leave a message, I will try to get it to Sabine in the middle of the meeting. If she wants to try to call you back, she said. But again, I don't know what's.
Again, I appreciate everything. I will be calling you guys. I will be checking back later, and I hang up. And I shared the news with the group that she has been. There are 4 people taking an emergency meeting, and they look like there's a suit, and there's a homeless person, and
That,
that's who's got Sabine in her office right now.
that could be the Northeast Anarchs, couldn't it?
That's what I was thinking. I don't know though.
Let's try Threnody. See if she has any news for us.
And I'm calling her.
Okay, are you putting her on speakerphone or are you just calling her yourself?
I'm just calling her myself.
Okay. She picks up after about 2 rings, and she's like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Amazingly, yes.
She's like, "Your crew called the other night, and they were talking about how they were going into Fairmont to talk to the wolves. Everybody come out okay? You needing replacements or something?"
No, everybody's got their limbs, and then we got some extra things.
Except Scrub.
He doesn't count. We all people came back all in one piece and with bonus prize to boot.
She goes, "That's really awesome." She's like, is there something that I can help you guys with, or is there something you need, or she's like,
Can you come here? Can you come here as soon as possible? Like now?
she's like, I no. She's
Are
like,
you alone?
she's like, we are kind of knee deep in the dead right now.
How many dead?
There's a really long pause, and she goes, I don't know what's going on. She goes, I don't have any details on why, on what's happening or why they're out in force. She's like, my crew over here, we've had 2 separate businesses that got hit pretty openly by shovelheads.
Shovelheads are the people up north?
Sabat.
Sabat.
She's like, I haven't seen Raul in probably 6 hours.
Fuck.
She goes, I'm sure he's fine, but this is not a particularly opportune time to be taking business meetings. She's like, do you know what's going on?
I have an idea. We've got the smoking gun, so to speak, on the cam.
She's like, what do you mean?
Wasn't talking so crazy after all, was I?
She's like, I have no idea. She's like, I mean, we followed you guys out when we were down there too, so. She goes, so I don't know, but have you found something? Did you guys figure something out?
I think we did. And I think the Sabat sensing weakness in the cam are making big moves.
She's like, shit. She's like, I need to make some phone calls. We need some reinforcements. she's like, I definitely want to. She's like, I want to meet you with you. I want to hear about what all of this is. She's like, this is not the time.
Take care of your own. We're gonna reinforce whatever we can here.
She goes, all right. She hangs up.
All right, Idaho. How do you expect to get word to Charles?
I don't know. Do you share that conversation with us?
Yeah,
Should we go help?
might as well. How are we doing? Do we have
we have-
any any
What's
issues?
what's up with the club? Is everything normal? Business as usual?
Are you going to? I'm guessing you're going to reach out to all
Moira?
to Moira and all the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Romano gets back with Vic before anybody else, and is like, "That's a reasonably slow night." He's like, "We're doing decent business. It's probably a good thing that we don't have all the bars open because it would thin it out for everybody." But he's like, "But this." I don't know how to tell you, boss. He's like, there's none of your kind.
I don't know. I mean, do we really trust leaving the club open tonight? I mean, with Target on our backs and knowing that they'll do anything to hurt us?
Yeah.
Romano also mentions to you, Vic, that there aren't even Slade is not there tonight. There's none of that contingent has shown up. There's no.
Shut the club down. Close it early. We say like we have a gas leak or something. Everybody back to the apartment. All hands on guard.
Vic, do you tell Romano?
Yeah, I'll relay that. Yeah.
Romano's like, all right, I will kick out our 15 or 20 customers and yeah. Do you want us to do anything? Comp them drinks or their tabs or whatever to?
Yeah. Just drinks on the house.
Okay. He hangs up. Moira gets back to you a little bit after that, Michael, and tells you that no, nothing weird on security, nothing like that. The only thing that is of note is that there have been a number of weird drive-bys. Conspicuous vehicles that seem to be kind of stopping and eyeballing people out on the streets that are in front of the club.
What kind of conspicuous vehicles?
Big black SUVs.
Like if you were in a movie.
Yeah. An air-conditioned unit fall out of a window.
Is Hattonfield still at our apartments?
He is. I do not recall what we did with Haddonfield.
He came with us, and then we got him feeding to get to feel better.
Then I would probably assume that you have him down in the apartment, or not in the apartments, but in the
underground club.
Yeah, in the rooms
chambers.
underground. Yeah, in the basement chambers.
So we're gonna have to go get him.
I'd recommend we get him in on this.
He was now keep in mind, he was severely injured. So
might as well check on him.
Yeah, so
there's other things. I mean, we've got those Tremere still live at the apartments, right?
The Tremere are indeed upstairs.
I mean, I'm gonna.
Marla is in Kai's.
Yeah, she needs to stay out of this.
She's
Mm.
she needs to get on a bus and go somewhere.
Give her a bus ticket to New York.
Yeah,
New York.
yeah. I may have to side skirt over to her apartment.
Send her to
and say
Arizona.
that.
So
yeah, deal with
so
that.
let's close down the club as soon as possible. Get as many hands back into the apartment. Self-preservation status. ASAP. Oh, fuck!
Those damn peat bogs.
That freaking tail. Okay. Fiasco aside.
It is
Uh,
almost bio break. Do you need to handle something?
just
Should we take an early bio break?
that would be helpful.
All right.
Because I'm pretty sure I psychically know what's going on here.
All right.
All right, guys.
Let's take an early bio break for 10 minutes.
Yep. We'll be back. Everybody stick around with us. Be right back, screen. And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Story shall continue.
Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Philly by Night. Right before the impromptu bio break and emergency, the coterie was making phone calls to attempt to determine the effects that they could be told from what they had found. The calling Sabine, they found that she was taking a meeting with, as of yet, 4 unnamed individuals, while Threnody was dealing with a emergency in her part of the city. So, with that decision, the coterie had decided to lock down the club before making any further moves. So, the club's been locked down. Everybody has been shuffled out. So, the question is, what is your next move? Are you calling anybody else, or are you guys about to hit the road?
I'm going to call Sunny.
When you call Sunny, it rings for a bit, and when she picks up, there is a long pause before she says anything. And she says, I'm telling you right now, before you say anything, that I am not by myself right now, and there are a lot of very, very interested eyes on me, who are all listening very carefully.
Thanks, me too. I put her on speaker.
She says, so if you are going to tell me anything, she said, I would be very, very careful about what your words are right now.
Sure, thanks. Well, yeah, I was just calling to see if you could give me some information on what's going down in the city.
She says, well, the sheriff of Philadelphia was murdered, as I'm sure you're well aware.
My goodness.
No way.
She says, and there is currently a delegation, including a couple members of the Primogen Council, who are currently hotly debating what to do about the werewolf problem.
What werewolf problem?
Well, there's a long, long pause, as if there is something being communicated, either visually or when Sunny answers again, she says, I'm going to ask you a question. She says, I want you to know that I already know. She says, but I want to hear it from your mouth.
You want to hear? Everybody wants to hear.
She says, did you break the treaty and get the werewolves to help you murder the sheriff?
No. Next question.
There's a very long pause, and she says,
The sheriff was killed by Kindred.
she says, we should probably meet, but not tonight.
Okay. Well, just to let you and everybody else who's listening know, I've got some great and juicy information to trade whenever you guys are ready for it.
Sunny Bear rapidly says, I will call you back as soon as I can. Click.
Mm-hmm. We caught her interest.
So, yeah, I guess they're trying to frame us for breaking the truce and using the wolves to kill the sheriff or what the fuck ever. So,
They're only half wrong.
well, regardless.
Well, that was really good intel that we got just by her asking. That was great.
So, remind me, the truce is between the werewolves and the Camarilla, or the werewolves and the vampires?
The truce is functionally two-part. It is between the werewolves and the gangrel. That is the primary I guess you could say that's the primary point of contact between those two parties,
Mhm.
the two sides of the fence.
And then the gangrel.
The gangrel are basically the intermediaries to the rest of the vampires of Philadelphia.
So the truce is between our vampire representative in the forest with the wolves.
So something that was pointed out
To a point.
So as you guys learned when you guys were talking to your contacts last session, was that the gangrel in the forest are supposed to stay objectively neutral, and that in the event of any sort of breach on either side of the truce, they have been charged with making sure that everybody is aware of the circumstances.
Right.
You guys are breaking a truce. You're actively breaking a truce. This is breaking the truce.
Right. Whatever.
Got it.
But you also learned that that neutrality does not apply to the wolves. The wolves don't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So the wolves are going to be like, I'm going to wolf whatever I want because whatever I wolf whenever I want. Bless you.
Now, part of the agreement was that a wolf wouldn't come out of the park, like the wolves stay in the park. However, Mika is half kindred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not even worried. I'm just.
I know. I'm just saying, like, they can't label her as like a full werewolf. Like, if she's half kindred, she technically should have
Didn't
right
break the
inside
truce.
and outside the park. There's no truce.
Not only that, but Scroll would still be alive if he hadn't tried to confront us and do his shit to us. So, nah. You know, he killed himself technically. That's what.
Yeah, we tried. We were just wanting to talk to him.
Yeah, we
were just trying to hug him nice and gentle.
We pled with him. We pled with him for hours, as I recall. Anyway, have we managed to get
Monopoly?
So, I would be concerned about why Shaw is launching an attack against Threnody right now, and what can we do to help her?
Yeah. Well, this could also be Shaw baiting us out of our safe zone.
He can just come to the freaking club if he wants to. I mean, we're not.
Yeah. What stopped him? It's never stopped him before.
We don't hide.
No. We have runes against him here.
Okay.
do you?
I don't feel like we do, but maybe we do. I feel like the only thing
I thought that was part of the.
I know we put like big spotlights in the club, but I don't know.
Okay, so you would put so to give some information that may have been forgotten. You did have big spotlights in the club at one point before the club got taken over by the Cam.
Put them back in.
And there are runes in the club, but you don't know who they are for. And the Tremere theorized that you could get runes if you got some of Shaw's blood to be able to make those wards. Which maybe they don't have that blood at the naval base where they held you, but
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yep. Okay. So no, we don't have anything.
if I may be excused, I think I'm gonna go knock on the Tremere's door. see if they're here and let them know some shit's going down.
Please
Mhm.
do.
Good idea.
Okay, so you are going to split off and head to upstairs to the Tremere to up here apartment. Is anybody else going to go? Well, he is heading off to go catch up with the Tremere. Is anybody else going to head out and for a moment and do any running around? Anybody you want to check on with? Anything you want to check out?
Question: have we heard from Noel in this yet?
The last time you guys talked to Noel would have been regarding the drone.
Yeah, we hadn't talked to her about this at all.
All right.
This kind of info might get us out of the doghouse for the drone.
I will be reaching out to Noel in the meantime, while heading over to the club, I guess, and then heading over to the club to see if I can help like lock it down as fast as possible and
Is
move whoever
Fairchild
needs to be
still
shifted
in the
over.
basement?
Okay, so Idaho is heading up to the Tremere. Michael, you're gonna call Noel while you're going over to help the club lock up. Vic, what was your question?
Is Fairchild still in the basement of the club?
Yes.
No, Fairchild is dead.
Fairchild's dead.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
not
Haddonfield.
Fairchild. Haddonfield. Is Haddonfield in the
Haddonfield is
basement?
yes in the basement.
Then I'm gonna go with Michael. I'll go get Haddonfield. So we
Okay,
bring
so
him
you're
back.
So you're gonna go ahead.
Okay, yeah, that's
Start
fine.
getting Michael to start getting Haddonfield while
Yeah.
I call Noel.
okay, Alice, what are you doing?
I'm heading upstairs to get armed up and make sure that Ruby has something. Does she have any points in any kind of weapons or anything?
Nope.
Shit. But yeah, I grab my brass knucks, the my handgun, some extra ammo. Probably grab my trench coat and just load up what I can. And then just, make sure Ruby's cool. I'm guessing I would go up and at least tell Marla to just like stay the fuck in. There's some crazy shit going around. We're gonna handle it, but
Or Marla.
Oh,
it's
Marla.
not a good time to be walking around by herself.
Put her on a bus to Phoenix.
That has been my other thought, was bribe her with a bus ticket and tell her, maybe I'll meet you there in a week. Just
Yeah.
whatever
So my
it takes
question is,
to.
Get her out of the city.
do we have any idea what she is yet, or what's going on with her?
Okay.
No.
She's human. She's just being stalked, and we don't know by who or what.
So we're gonna go down the line. So
And
okay,
yeah,
so
I'm gonna
so
back
let-
up the idea of bribing her with a bus ticket. I'll
Okay,
side with that.
Okay, so Al, you're taking Ruby with you?
Well,
you
she
taking-
says she wants to be in on this. I mean, I'll give her an out.
Well, no, I was gonna say. So what I mean by that is you're taking her with you to go get geared up.
To get geared up, and I would have probably left her to finish up, and then I'd go up and talk to Marla.
Okay, so so that's what I was about
Okay.
to clarify. So you and Ruby are basically going back to your apartment to get geared up. You're gonna leave Ruby there, and then you're gonna head over to Kai's former apartment to
Right.
check in on Marla. Got it. We're gonna come back to you.
Apartment?
Okay.
Idaho.
Si, senor.
Before we go any further, what are you doing with Brutus?
He's with me.
Okay, he's just with you. Okay. Should we just make that assumption that unless stated otherwise?
Yeah, unless I state otherwise, yeah, he's with me.
Okay. What were you doing again?
I'm gonna go talk to the Tremere.
You're right. You're going up to the Tremere. See, when you head upstairs to the Tremere, when you get down the hall from the Tremere, Brutus is already like sniffing around, and is kind of actively like spannering in front of you, like kind of like his nose is at the ground. When you get to the door and you knock, Jean-Baptiste opens the door reasonably quickly. And he's like, "Hello, my friend. It is a interesting night that you come calling. Can I help you?"
Oh, why is it interesting?
He says, "Well, I do not know best how to say this, but one of our members is missing.
Shit.
Shit.
Well, we kicked the hornet's nest last night, and that's probably underselling what we did.
Set it
And
on fire.
shit's going down. The Cam are in disarray. The Sabat are attacking some of Thrinity's holdings on the eastern part of town, I assume. So I wanted to let you know what was going on because we're about to go on lockdown, if not defense mode, to help Trinity. There's some really serious shit going down.
His brow furrows, and he says, "We would be fine here. However, do you worry that the apartment building would be under assault?"
It's possible.
He says, "We will." He says, "This is an unfortunate time period. Adelaide has gone missing."
Well, it may have something to do with that. I mean, did she just go missing today?
When she woke just after dusk, she found herself quite hungry, as well as short on some ingredients that she wanted. This is not uncommon for us. Often we depart early, and then it takes us perhaps some time in order to properly source the things that we need. He says, unfortunately, we have not been able to contact her since. We're not sure if this is something nefarious or if she simply is not picking up her phone because she wants some privacy.
Right. Well,
but if you were telling me that there's something dangerous going on, then I have to assume the worst.
Yeah, that might be the better course of action. I mean, if it's that she just wants privacy, great. But if not, might as well do something about it. I mean, so yeah, obviously do what you feel like you need to do. If there's any way we can help, let me know. But I wanted to alert you that shit's going down. And I mean, we're still getting our head around what all is going on and what we're going to do with it.
He nods and he says, "We will do our best to secure our home and this tower." He says, "So we will stay here if you are venturing out."
Yeah, great. If anything goes down, send me an emergency text. Okay?
He is, "Yes, I have your number."
Awesome. Thanks. And with that, I'll head out.
Vic, are you and Michael staying together, or are you heading? Well, Michael is doing things at the club. Are you heading straight for Haddonfield?
I was heading straight for Haddonfield.
Okay, Michael, are you staying with Vic, or are you going to do things around the club?
She was calling Noel and then heading down at the club.
Yep. I would be calling, so I would tell Vic to get a head start and call Noel in the meantime.
Okay. Vic, when you get downstairs, Haddonfield is better than he was last night, which is to say he doesn't have a giant gaping sucking chest wound. But he still looks a little gray. When he sees you, he gives you kind of a brief nod. But he looks quite weak.
We need to relocate you to the apartments. We're locking down the club.
He He's like, the where?
It's just across the street.
He's like, is that the safest place?
It's going to be safer than being in here by yourself.
He's like, fair. He tries to stand up. He's very,
I'll help
very
him up.
weak.
Yeah.
When you help him up, you notice that the chest wound is mostly healed, but he was covered underneath of his business clothes in tattoos. Like, there are all sorts of religious and tattoos that are just like covering his chest that you can see. Now, obviously, that's been marred severely, from the giant fucking hole. But he's like, as he's leaning on you, it's difficult not to see that. So where you say you're taking him to the apartments, how are you going to get him there? Are you just walking straight out the front door? Are you going to take him out the back and then kind of angle him through the alleyway and then into the, through the front door? And
Is he not wearing anything like anything in coat check? I could just grab like a coat and put it over him.
You can do that. Yeah, that wouldn't be difficult. And he's not really in a position to bitch as you put the giant pink polka dot glam robe over him.
I guess you just walk him across the street then.
Okay, so you're just gonna walk him basically then out the front door and just walk straight down to the apartments. Okay. When you get him over to the apartments, where are you gonna put him? Just in the conference room? Are you gonna put him in your room? Or are you gonna put him where? Like, what are you gonna do?
I can put him in my room for now. That's fine.
Okay. So Idaho, you're still at the apartment tower, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Vic has now left and come back. Michael, so you call the wall and it doesn't even ring. It just goes straight to voicemail.
Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna say call. As soon as you can, call. And hang up. Send a message through Signal being like, need to know you're okay, shit's hitting the fan.
You don't receive a response. When you are at the club, customers are gone. Robin is upstairs. She's counting out till when you come in, she's like, shit, is everything okay? I was told there was a gas leak. I haven't smelled anything.
Robin is a new bartender?
She is the former contractor, the now newly hired bartender who's taken over upstairs.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, don't worry about it. We've got everything under control. You need to go home and just be as safe as possible.
She goes, okay. She goes, so...
Wait, what? She goes, okay.
She's like, okay. I get, sure, I can go home. Is there any reason I need to go home?
Well, we're closing down the club.
Well, yeah, I mean, you
don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
She was like, I was planning on going out. Like, is there, like, is something else going on? Is there not really a gas leak?
Yeah. Yeah, I would go home tonight. I'd stay in if I were you. It's gas problems all over the city.
She looks really confused and suspicious. Are you going to actively attempt to convince her of this?
No.
Okay. So, you head on past her. What else do you do while you are locking things up in the club? Is there anybody else you're going to talk to? Is there anything else you're going to look up or do?
Pretty much everything is locked up safe. We don't have anybody else downstairs, right?
I mean,
Basement?
Yeah.
no, not in the basement.
And as far as bartenders and like staff are concerned, the only ones left are the ghouls.
Yep.
And we
Ghouls,
said-
Lane is cleaning up. I guess theoretically, I don't know. I was going to say, is Brittany part of the staff? I don't think she's actually considered part of the staff.
Well, still, it's a good idea to know where she is. She needs to know what's up with this too. I'm gonna text her if nobody else does. I'll call her.
In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and text Slade Buzz Buttercup ?
We should just call him Grill Master.
He does not respond.
Interesting.
Is there anything else that you wanted to accomplish at the club? The ghouls are quickly cleaning everything up. Obviously, you would see Vic probably come and go.
Okay, I guess like just reinforce the exits and make sure everything we need is back at the apartments.
Okay, so you're basically just going through, making sure all the doors are locked, making sure everything safes are properly locked at the in there, just making sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Question: since this was never addressed, who has the hard drive?
Alice.
Okay, so Al, you still have the hard drive. Then are you just carrying it on your person?
We've already made.
Do we
copies,
have a
right?
safe in the apartments? I mean, is that something Michael would have had kind of?
Michael would definitely have a safe in his room.
And I would probably also have a copy of it on my phone.
Yeah, making copies is the safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would have done the same, so we had a backup. So, if Michael has already walked out at the club, I'll call Michael real quick.
Okay. And
I pick up.
Hey, I just had the bright idea of locking up the hard drive in your safe. Can you make it back over here quickly enough that we can put that away, or do you want me to do it? What do you want me to do?
I'll be right there. Make sure you have a couple extra copies as well.
Yeah, I secured the encrypted I encrypted the files on the desktop and on my secret backup laptop.
Do you have a couple other hard drives that you can put it on?
That's what I'm talking about with doing. Encrypting the files onto 2 other machines so that.
Yeah.
I would say that you probably have on hand. You probably have 1 or 2 extra hard drives to save it on, but you probably don't. You're not like gonna have like enough to like make 50 copies or something.
No,
Exactly.
of course not.
That's
No,
what I'm asking.
you're talking about removable hard drives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course I'd have. Yeah.
Set a couple of those up too.
Okay.
Got it.
So, Al, when you get to the apartment with Ruby, she is still shaking like a leaf.
I can tell this one's really affecting you. I know you really want to be, all about the team, but I know you're still new to all this. I'm sure Michael understands that fact. What do you want to do? in
She's
this
gonna have to sit
situation,
out.
what do
I-
you
I
feel
thought-
safest?
I thought it was explained last session that she heals too slow to be able to come out with she's gonna be healing for a while.
Yeah,
She's not ready.
she's still suffering a gut wound. Like she's
Okay,
still-
okay. I had forgotten that detail. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Don't
she's not
note
leaving.
that. Yeah, no, in that case, I'll ask her, what can I do to make you feel as safe as I can?
She kind of curls up on the couch under a blanket, and she's like, she goes, I know this is inconvenient. She's like, but like, maybe can we go get something to eat before the sun comes up together?
You talking about before we head out as the group or when I get back?
No, when you get back.
Of course.
She's like, okay.
Anything you want.
She's like, okay.
And I make sure to secure the windows, and, make sure you lock up as soon as I leave. And don't leave unless absolutely necessary, please.
She's like, I'm gonna sit by the door until Lane gets in, but then yeah, we're gonna lock up. And
Okay.
so you get all of your brass knucks, your pistol. You head over to Marla's.
Mm-hmm.
When you get over to Kai's former room, the door is closed. Do you knock? Do you just walk right in? Do you?
I'll give a knock. I'll be respectful.
When you knock, there's no answer.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to wiggle the knob.
The door opens, just swings right open.
Are the lights on?
Yes, the lights are on. The scene is eerily familiar.
Oh God, no, 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 no!
She is sprawled on the ground. You can still hear her heartbeat faintly. She is dressed in a little negligee. There's drugs on the ground next to her. But two things immediately draw your attention. One is the gaping wound on the side of her thigh. It doesn't look like fang marks. It looks like something took a chunk out of her.
With my knowledge, would I be able to tell if it's werewolf?
You could definitely roll for that if you wanted to. The other detail in the room is written next to her in blood is, did you really think you could keep her safe?
Is she conscious enough to speak?
She is in that kind of in-between consciousness. She's very obviously not just unconscious, but she's on something as well.
I'll try to, get her focus on me and, try to ask, what happened? Did you see who did it?
She can't even speak. Her verbalizing is all consonant.
Can't you mind meld? I don't know if you want to, if she's on drugs.
No.
That doesn't let her.
And
like,
it doesn't give me conscious thought. It just is literally the raw senses. I'm trying to think of my other abilities.
Demontator.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
There we go.
Oh, so we're going to talk about stains tonight.
Okay, doke. Well, I might as well at least roll for knowledge on the wound.
Yeah.
You have a couple, so there are a couple different things you have available to you.
Okay.
Sense the unseen, Is one, premonition is another. Of course, you could do share the senses on her if you really were intent on finding out exactly how she's feeling. You could cloud memory if you're attempting to make her not remember whatever has happened to her. Those are kind of your big ones. If you are looking at the wound and you are attempting to determine what it might be, so are you? So okay. Here is the question.
Okay.
And maybe it's not the answers you want. Are you attempting to determine?
Well, let's back up for a second.
Okay.
First roll is sense the unseen, because I've just walked into all this on my own. I've got no backup right now. I mean, I've got weapons, but
Okay, so wits and aspects. So 4 and 3, so 7. Your hunger, so 5 and 2.
2.
When you look around, you catch something out of the corner of your eye for just a second. It is a vaguely humanoid faint shadow that is just outside of the periphery.
As soon as I sense it, I want to zip right in that corner. All vampire speed, just zip to the spot that I see it.
When you get there, there's nothing there.
I was hoping like running directly into it would break. Damn it.
Its movement.
Yeah. Or break it out of hiding. Other than the writing in blood, is there anything else that I can discern from the scene?
The room looks very, very similar to how you guys left it when Kai was here, when you left it after she passed. The only one thing that notice immediately that is very apparent to you is that she has not moved anything. She has not touched anything. She has left the room largely as it has been when you put her in there. Like she didn't move. She hasn't moved furniture. She hasn't rearranged.
I'm gonna immediately.
She literally have just left it.
I'm immediately hitting the group text. Marla's down. Meet me in Kai's apartment ASAP. I guess I'll try to discern the bite mark if there's a roll for that.
So this was what I was going to ask you before. Are you attempting to determine if it is something that is occult? Are you attempting to determine if it's a werewolf, a vampire, a blah 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 down the list of things it could possibly be, or are you attempting to simply determine the cause of trauma?
Let's try to determine cause first.
Okay, so that's going to be your medicine and intelligence. So 3, 4, so 2 and 2.
On good rolls.
Okay. Before I ask you anything else or tell you anything, do you want to re-roll the 1 white?
Yes.
Okay. Let me tick off some.
Okay. Not gonna look.
Shit.
Okay.
God damn. All my rolls have sucked tonight.
So, there are a couple things that you can immediately tell from the bite. One, it is the bite looks worse than it actually is. While the flesh around the whatever caused the bite, there's some amount of abrasion to it. It's not clean. It's a little more like a kind of like a bite and tear. It is actually not nearly as deep as it looks at first glance. The other part about it is that the teeth marks are not. They are neither perfectly round nor snout-like, shall we say. Normally, like if you look at something like a dog bite, they're it's kind of like in a long, it's kind of squared off.
Right.
Like a human bite obviously matches kind of the way that our jaws are. In this particular case, it is neither. It is kind of more of short, but slightly elongated.
Okay. If there's nothing else I can discern from the scene, I'm gonna go back and check on Ruby and try to gently break the news. If nothing else, to use to scare the shit out of her to stay in her fucking room. So I'll head that way while I'm waiting for everyone to come back.
So okay, so just to clarify the action, you're going to leave the barely conscious Marla.
I thought you said she, like, when I asked if, okay, I thought I heard something about her breathing. Okay, if she's still breathing, I'll stay.
Yeah, no, her breathing, she is still breathing, but it is quite shallow.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll stay by her side then. I don't know why I was thinking that.
Yeah, I thought
Long day.
Apply first aid.
Well, I mean, I could try a tourniquet, but
I'm on my way down there. I'm pretty close to the site, right? I'm on my way there.
I was going to say, so there are, currently, in terms of closeness, in order, it would be Idaho, Vic, and then Michael would be the ones to quickly head there quickest. So I'm going to just go down the list. Idaho, when you got the message, would you have headed straight there?
Yes.
Okay. Vic, what would you have done with Haddonfield?
I would basically, I guess.
Would you have dropped him off at your apartment and then gone, or would you basically have been like, later, bitch?
No, actually, I'm going to take him to the
You're going to keep him close?
I'm going to take him to the conference room. And I'm going to send voice to text, mass everyone, say everyone to the conference room. Everyone.
I've already sent you a message saying that we got a half-dead Marla.
Yes, bring her to the conference room. When you can. I'm just saying no one needs to be alone in their rooms tonight.
Okay, so
you really want to make me move this chick with a massive gaping bleeding wound?
When you can.
Oh Lord.
So Vic, you've taken Haddonfield. You have now retreated to the conference room with him. So that's where you are. Okay, Michael, where are you now? What are you doing?
Since I'm heading back to the apartments, making sure everything is secure, finish checking on my ghouls, I'd probably be heading towards Marla.
Okay, so
yeah, like this is text messages, so like yeah, right. I'm heading towards Marla while texting and walking.
Okay, so a little bit of a split scene, but not too bad. So Idaho, Michael, Al, you are all now at Kai's apartment.
At my apartment? The hell, people?
I mean,
with Brutus.
I mean, it's like saying you're a tomcat's home.
Mm-hmm. When you get there, it is almost eerie how similar the situations are. that when you walk in and find a body in this apartment again. Idaho, it would be very apparent more than almost anything else how untouched this apartment is. Like Marla, for however much that you've actually interacted with her, you would probably, particularly after your trip to New York, would have maybe seen her as perhaps a bit eccentric, or maybe, or just straight up, maybe even junky or homeless behavior. But this apartment is almost untouched. Like, if she's living here, she is doing everything she possibly can to be extraordinarily respectful of the space.
Gotcha. Does Brutus react in any particular way?
I mean, he reacts to the person on the floor and is like licking at her face and being like, "What is on the floor?" The Michael, something that you notice as owner of the building, the door is not. There's nothing wrong with the door. There's no damage to the door. The doorknob opens fine. Like, this was not there. Like, there's no signs of a break-in.
Mm-hmm. Again,
Mm-hmm.
And no
nobody's had to force their way into this home.
Well,
no signs that she's even living here.
she, the whole reason we brought her in was she kept thinking she was being followed. There was a shadow figure. I mean, we confirmed that much, but who it was, what it was.
Same thing with Kai, that there was no forced entry into the room.
Nerds!
Yeah, I doubt this was the same person that killed Kai, but this makes us look like chumps that we can't get this fucking room.
I don't know. I
And
can't
what
really
is it
like
about
have
this room?
I'm not 100% in doubt, especially considering the message right there, as I point to.
In doubt of what?
Did you think you can keep her safe, written in her blood on the floor?
Oh, I know what the message is. You're not in doubt of what?
Like, if it might be the same person.
This is the one. Okay.
So something worth mentioning.
Mhm.
Way back when, it's got to have been in the 20s. There's no chance I'm going to find it just randomly picking one. If you remember, Kai was attacked by something way back when that was unseen.
Mhm.
And I think all of you, except maybe Vic, have had a chance encounter where you have perceived something outside of your
Unseen.
vision or out in the periphery, or
Yeah.
Is there anything about the scene to rule in or rule out Shaw, considering we're talking about shadow figures here?
Well,
It's too small fish for
we
Shaw.
knew she
You
was
do
being.
anything to get to us.
We knew from the trip to New York that she was being pursued by something.
In New York. I
This
don't think Shaw would
probably,
be
no, I don't think it was Shaw. She's got some kind of a supernatural suitor, some kind of a supernatural stalker.
Yeah.
You saw it on the picture and we went to New York City because you saw
Mhm.
that. And she told us about all the weird shit that's been going on in her life. And the weird shit has continued here. This is the same supernatural suitor that's been bothering her this whole time.
No, I agree.
They followed the path back to here and walked into our apartment, into this room as if there were no fucking security, and did this to her right under our noses.
I don't know that my role of occult would be enough. Would I have knowledge of some kind of demon or anything supernatural?
if you wanted to roll occult to see if you could determine the bite, that would be your intelligence and occult. So that's going to be 3, 6, so 4 and 2. Idaho, I would say maybe even something that you and perhaps Vic would know. Do you want
Fucking rolls.
You could probably correct. You would probably be able to identify the drugs.
Okay.
Mm.
No problemo.
Al, do you want to re-roll your
The 2
your
4s.
2 die?
Yeah.
Michael, what are you looking for?
Trying to see if like the bite shape looked even more familiar to me.
I'm
If-
done, man. I am so done with these fucking rolls. I'm sorry. I
So,
about to throw something.
if I can like notice anything in particular.
Al, you looking at these, you could theorize a couple different topics. You could maybe consider some different things, but nothing is. I mean, you might as well be throwing fucking noodles.
I'm
at
just
the wall.
hearing Ralph Wiggum in the back of my head. It's a wound. Like, that's it. That's all I've got. Oh, fuckity.
Okay,
Ugh.
so, Michael, what were you wanting to roll?
Knowledge to see if I could identify the cause of the wound.
Okay.
Or-
You also have you've got 1 in occult, so
But I also have.
And I can always try to lend.
I
if
would say yeah,
it's-
you could. You've got 3 intelligence, so 3 and 2, so 3 and 2 since you have 2 hunger.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Okay. Before I tell you anything,
Damn.
do you want to re-roll the 2 ones?
Yes, please.
All right. Roll 2 wide. You make, looking at the bite mark, there are some things that still definitely leave questions for you, Michael.
Mhm.
You're not 100% sure, but you basically can rule out anything that's like, it's not like a dog, it's not a beast, it's not a gargoyle, it's not anything like that. The angle on it still is within reasonable shot. You conferring with Al, you are still reasonably sure that it's a kindred bite. There's definitely suction being applied to the wound, but there are too many questions to give any sort of firm answer on what exactly is at play here. But you're reasonably sure, yes, this is another vampire.
That helps.
Just
That
adding,
helps at least.
just me thinking, but I'm wondering if it's the big rat Nas in the alleyway that's been hanging out back there.
He hasn't been. This is somebody that's been pursuing
In the house.
her.
Yeah, like all the way to New York and back.
Didn't he show up after she did?
Huh? No.
No. Yeah.
Did he?
He showed up after she did.
Oh,
That was
maybe-
the first time because it was in that alleyway and you called all of us down there.
Okay, well then
We
maybe
saw
that
it
is.
in the apartment.
Maybe that is who it is.
So like I said, just me speculating, but
Let's get Brutus on the trail.
I know.
Hunt this guy down.
Or,
Did you want to make any rolls?
well, do I need to make a roll to try to identify the drugs?
Yes, that would be. This would be wits and streetwise. So you're looking 4 and 1.
Okay. Wait, did I do something wrong?
Yes, you forgot your
Oh,
blood
yeah.
die.
I put the one oh okay, I see what I did wrong. Ew, lovely. I might as well roll my 3 that I didn't get. The dice are sucky for all of us tonight.
Okay, so what I will tell you is you actually had a little bit more expertise here, so the bar for this particular topic was quite a bit lower for you. You can't be 100% sure. Obviously, you have not sampled all of Slade's wares.
I'm looking
However,
for a
Well, that's
friend.
right.
The drugs that are on the floor are not Slade's usual
Okay.
repertoire. So the question there is where did the drugs come from?
Well, so there are still drugs on the ground that have not been taken.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna put them in my pocket.
Mhm.
Are you gonna try and bloodhound them at all? See if you recognize something?
I mean,
Uh,
bloodhound is always going, isn't it?
Yes. So the drugs is actually liquid. It's not like pills or dust or anything like
Like a vial.
that. Well, no, there's no vial to it. It's just
Dropper.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's on the ground.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have ways to heal wounds, unless we just want to pick her up and take her into the conference room.
Feel some wound.
Now
Yeah.
she keep in mind, she does not know that
Mhm.
Jesus Christ, you two, what the
She doesn't
Can't
know.
fight.
That's why she got hurt, because she doesn't know.
fuck are you
Can't
doing?
fight on the computer.
Like one jumped up and the other like snatched him out of the air by the throat with his teeth. I was like,
That's what's about to happen in our game.
exactly.
Right?
So okay, where were we? Got it. So So she doesn't know anything about you guys.
She doesn't.
So are you guys? How are you going to go about doing this?
I mean, it's up to you, Al. I mean, we can just pick her up and take her to the conference room, or we can sprinkle a little blood on her leg and try to heal it up, or we can send her. We can call 911. I mean,
We did, Michael.
we could turn mute off of Martha so that we can hear her.
Make a nice tourniquet so we can get her the fuck out of there as quick as possible, and then dress it
Is
upstairs.
she actively bleeding?
Yes.
Yes, it's a big gaping open wound.
It's
In
also
her
not-
leg.
Now I did say earlier I had tourniquet while I was waiting for everyone to show up.
All right.
So that's already been done.
Somebody could lick it. Just saying.
Yeah, let's lick
Well,
it.
that's what I keep trying to say, but I mean,
Lick it.
me and Brutus are leaving the room.
Okay. So we licked it. Is it closing? Because from what I'm
Yeah.
understanding, it's a big ass fucking wound.
Yes. Licking so vampire saliva, unlike in the Twilight books where it's venomous, in
You mean the real books that matter?
in World of
Highlight
Darkness,
for my time
vampire saliva is somewhat magical in its ability to close up wounds. Now you would know, whoever's doing the licking, that's not going to heal the damage. That's like any of the, if torn muscles or anything like that that's beneath, that's not going to fix those problems. It's still going to hurt like a motherfucker. But it will close up the skin.
Okay.
Which we could reopen if we needed to further fix or take to a hospital or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's going to suck for her, but... So, wound is licked. That's closed. Al, you're carrying her down to the conference room?
Yeah.
Up.
Okay. So is everybody heading down to the conference room?
Up.
Conference room upstairs? I was downstairs off of the lobby.
Oh
The
yeah.
room was near the office.
There's also a conference room, I thought, up in the penthouse.
That's like
Well,
the
that's
last.
just Michael's office.
Okay.
So,
So we got wherever.
Vic has called everyone to the
There was
conference
like a
room.
lounge area up top that was like the ultimate like.
Yeah, that was like everybody. So that went out to Romano, that went out to Moira, that went out to all the ghouls. Everybody come to the conference room.
So everybody has
Even
coalesced.
Brittany, right? Brittany's on our.
And Brittany, yeah, I put Brittany out there. She'll meet you there.
We don't need to say about her.
Brittany does not show up at the conference room.
Well, I'm gonna text her.
She texts back.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna call her.
Oh, she doesn't pick up.
I just want to make sure that we are no longer in the club building. We are now in the apartment house.
Correct.
Okay. That's all right.
Okay, if she doesn't answer, I will text her.
She responds.
And what does she say?
Well, what did you text her?
I said, "Hey, we have an emergency. What's going on? Where are you?"
She's like, in the club.
Okay, we're all grouping in the apartments because we've vacated the club, and there is danger tonight. So you can stay there if you want, or you might want to come over here with where the numbers are.
There's a couple minutes between responses, but she's like, I'm pretty good at my hidey hole here.
Okay, let us know if you see or hear anything that we need to come pay attention to.
Thumbs up emoji.
All right, and I will let the group know. That's where she is. She's doing her thing.
All right. I just don't think anyone needs to be alone in rooms tonight. We've seen how that works.
She made her bed.
No, I mean I'm saying like anybody. Like Romano's not safe in a room alone. Moira's not safe in a room alone. Ruby's probably not safe in a room alone.
Is Haddonfield in your room by himself?
No,
no, he's in
the conference room.
Yeah, you brought him to the conference room. That's right.
Yep.
So, everyone is in the conference room. Now what?
Great question.
I'm gonna stay here.
What's up, our fearless leader?
I'm also going to let them know what I found out about the Tremere. One of theirs is also possibly missing. That went out tonight, and now they haven't heard back from her, and she will not answer her phone.
There's too much hanging over us right now. We've had unmarked SUV, blacked out SUV circling the block. We haven't had a single kindred walking around. We've had people just completely MIA from the building. The Tremere, as Idaho found out, are like missing a person. And most suspicious of all is Slade has fallen off the bat. And we've been attacked. And then worst of all is we've been attacked again in our own house. Are we still going to back up people, or do we hunt here? How safe is the house really?
I don't feel comfortable leaving it tonight. If you guys want to go out and get some information or see if we can get some that's fine. I think I'm going to try and stay here and try and protect those that are hurt and need recovery.
And it makes sense to send out a scouting party.
Who wants to stay?
I mean, do we think that between
Moira
him and Romano that they could keep an eye on the place? Is it too big for that?
Moira kind of speaks up and says, "Sure, but if they're looking to get us all in one area, this is an awfully convenient target."
Awfully convenient. So seriously,
Okay, well,
who wants to stay? Who wants to go?
Which way are we gonna go, Moira? Like, seriously, if we all stay split up, then we're obviously easy pickings. So it really doesn't matter which way we go, does it? We're just doing the fucking best we can. Now, do you have something to say that's constructive?
She goes, "Well, they haven't shown themselves to be against using bombs or fire.
There's a good a tower block is a good location for bombs and fire.
She says. They have. She says they have to know. She says, regardless of any information that you were able to procure from anything that you did. She says you blacked their eyes last night. She says you have to look at the other side.
They can't
The
let
sheriff is dead, and not only is the sheriff dead, but the entire lot of you managed to walk basically right out the back door. No one was caught. Nothing was apprehended. They have to think that they're going to go for an equal.
So what, you suggest we just pile in, everybody piles into all the vehicles we have?
We can't go on the run. What's the point? So
I mean, the only other property I think that we would have to use would be the wreckers.
they know we have,
And they know we own that. Like,
either we go see
There's
what's going on. Huh?
Sabine's old club, the one that burned down. We hid out there before.
Yeah, I mean, we can go there. We can take everybody there and hide. But
There's no running.
I mean, are we just hiding indefinitely now? I mean,
there's no running. Like,
well, that's why
there's
I'm
no
kind of
running and
tired of
hiding.
entertaining everything Moira says. Just saying.
But she's right. They are coming to,
Oh, right
like,
or wrong.
you know, piss on our steps again. Like they're gonna try and get.
But
an
I just
eye
feel
for
like
an
if
eye.
we were all split up and trying to go over this plan, she'd be saying, you know, shit about that plan too. So, yes, she brings up good points. Can we just use those points to move along?
We could take, unless we're being observed right now and they will know what we're doing, we could take the more vulnerable people to Sabine's old place and hide them there while we do something more productive.
We need to get the evidence out. We need to at least get it. It can't all be sitting here in this building.
No, it can't. I thought we put it into the cloud. Did we not do that?
Well, yeah, but if everyone in this building dies, who's going to get it out of the cloud? So, like,
We still okay. Have we taken care of the original things that we meant to do this evening so far?
I think one of the
She
original.
is stabilized. Yes.
What?
Marla
Marla is stabilized.
She is. I would say stable is certainly a questionable way to put that. I mean, she's still not talking.
I hate to say it. Do we just want to do an anonymous dump at the hospital?
I was about to say, I would imagine the safest thing for her would be to be at a hospital away from us.
So that needs to be numero uno.
So I'll put her in the back of the hearse and I'll go to the hospital with her. Pull into the back of the hearse and go, I know I'm driving a hearse, but she's not dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
I was never here.
I was driving her to the graveyard and she woke up. Oh my God, help her.
All right. On
Once
your way
she's
back,
out of our hair.
if you can, like, put the another hard drive on a safe location on the way back, do that too.
Well, that, and why don't we drop one off with our NOS contact?
Gigi.
Yes.
Gigi.
We're waiting on that.
Sunny is our NOS contact, not Gigi. Gigi's the leader of the Nosferatu.
And we're waiting on hearing back from them. They're gonna call us right back. Right now, we're taking care of her, and we're taking care of just getting ready to, like, go and take back up Threnody.
So I'm gonna go. I guess I'll take Marla. That was her name, right, Marla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll take Gertrude and put her in the back of my hearse and drive to the nearest clinic and drop her off. And then come back here, or do you just want to come with me and we'll go do whatever we need to do, or what?
Well, this is what I'm questioning. Do we have access? We have access to the wreckers, and I'm assuming that there's, like, a safe or a place to stash another hard drive.
I would also assume the wrecker is probably under surveillance.
Fair. Never mind. Just come right back here. Yeah, just
Yeah,
dump her off and come back.
they're gonna want their cop car back.
We should.
I thought we already stripped that bitch.
I'm just
it
kidding.
was just last night.
Just last night. It's been
Unless we
24
just did it
hours.
during the day. What about who was that new guy that was helping us out that we rescued from there? Bobby?
I believe it wasn't Alan. Alan walked the fuck off.
No, one of them joined our group.
Yeah.
Is he here with us right now?
He is. I'm going through all of my names right now. 1 second. I really need to figure out a better way to group everybody.
Did Alan get killed?
No, Alan just walked the fuck off. It was.
I went and stayed at that guy's house one day just to kind of make sure he was all cool. The new guy that's now like part of the security at our club.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's right, because he was the guy that was working out with me and Romano a lot of the times.
This is on me because I can't because I can't find his fucking name.
It was like Bobby or Barry or
Robert?
Damn, I usually make these notes too. I didn't write him down. Well, make up a name for him. It don't matter.
Yes, he's there. What are you asking him to do?
Nothing. I'm just trying to keep track of who all we've got because we might be going to war. All right. Well, I'm going to run to the emergency room then, I guess.
Okay, so you are currently taking Marla to the emergency room. What else are you taking? Anybody else with you as you go do this?
Anybody riding with me?
Harvey. His name is Harvey.
Yeah, that's
Harvey.
it. I mean, Harvey can come with me if nobody else wants to.
Harvey will totally come with you.
Let's do it. And it probably won't do me much good because I have a 0 in firearms, but I still have that pistol that we lifted from the cop last time, right?
You do indeed.
I also made note of that one anarch who lives near us and came to visit us that one night at the club and said, Elisa, and said that she wanted us to call her whenever there was a fight ready to happen. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, Alyssa. So here is the kind of the issue you're going to have. Are you, or I guess here's the question: are you now, as a group or as individuals, are you basically attempting to collect up all of the anarchs you have for kind of a war party here, or are you like, what is the point for trying to get all of these people together?
Well, I would think that we do need to get our numbers together right now because we keep hearing all these people say the CAM are going to come after us. We know from Trinity that
Sabat is out
Sabat
in numbers against us.
probably going against us instead of the CAMs. So it seems to me like we need to get all our soldiers together.
Do we think that they're gonna, or has it been confirmed? I may have missed it when I had is it been confirmed if they have it out for the werewolves now, since they perceive the truce to be? I'm just wondering if we can fall back on the whole enemy of my enemy thing again.
So the bit of information you did get about that is that there is some sort of powwow that is going on behind the museum, involving at least one or two of the Primogen, as well as the Gangrels, as they are attempting to sort things out.
Yeah, we don't know if there's been anything like that. If anything, I suspect they're just trying to nail us on some legality bullshit that we violated the truce.
Yeah. I mean, I'm of the mindset, fuck it, let's build an army. But
let's go.
That's just me wanting to,
Well, I assume that I got Elisa's information. I was the one who talked to her, wasn't I?
Yes. Alyssa's information.
Yeah, she said, "Call me when the fight's ready to go down," or something. She said that to me.
Mhm.
Well,
It appears to be now. So I guess on the way to the clinic, I'm going to give her a call.
Have we heard anything back from the Hecate in regards to all of this?
You guys haven't contacted them.
I thought you said you did earlier.
No,
I
we contacted Sabine, Serenity, Wall, and Sunny. That's it.
I will be reaching out to
Okay.
the Hecate right now.
Because I
So
heard
you're
that
calling-
name come up earlier, and I was like,
I
oh,
woke
okay.
up
stupid.
Yeah.
So you're reaching out to Carmine. So it is a brief couple of rings when it picks up. You hear, Mr. Starwell, good evening. To what do I owe the pleasure?
It seems the night has brought on some wild occurrences. Sorry, excuse me. My mouth got stuck to my mouth. It's been a wild night out here for almost every kindred. Was trying to see how yours was going.
Oh,
Quiet.
Strangely so.
He says, not strange at all. The only things that are out here are dead.
We may have woken sleeping giants and kicked a hornet's nest or two. We have that which the tower didn't want us to have and seems to have emboldened the Sabbat. Do I still have a boon with him?
I think we actually recently discussed this, and no.
No, I don't.
In fact, you are probably owing him again
Yeah,
for the situation with Kai.
right. But I do have something of interest to him.
yeah, I was about to bring that up.
I mean, we also brought his ass back to life. Isn't that worth a lot more?
I mean, he also then helped you prevent the prince from declaring praxis.
That was also in his interest to do so because the prince was using his clan without his approval. It wasn't completely
He
altruistic.
didn't care.
I was going to say,
He's so old, he didn't care.
which is an interesting thing that was never ever addressed, was who that mysterious person was would have been.
They sure would have smelled good, though, whoever it was.
Truffles, like truffles.
My cat?
Yes, exactly. Behind
I
everything
like
up to this point has
pussy.
been your
Anyway,
cat.
He chuckles a bit and says, well, I am sorry to hear of your troubles, though I don't share them.
They might interest you, though.
Then at some point we should meet.
Those who helped Carmine are hurried to not be brought out. Word to the wise.
He says, currently
Carmelo.
when you say Carmelo's name, there is a kind of hissing inhale. And says, I would be extraordinarily interested to see this information. This is unfortunately tonight is not particularly opportune as family is in town.
Be careful around family.
Quite.
Hope to hear from you soon.
He says, good luck, Mr. Starwell. And he hangs up.
All right.
Nice. That was good.
And then, all right, so we called the Hecate. I'm going to try Nawal one more time because I'm unsettled with the fact that she hasn't been in touch.
Mm-hmm.
I go straight to voicemail again.
Fuck.
Did we go check on her?
We can make the rounds. We're just trying to determine what's going on in the city, but we know Trinity's under duress.
Yeah, I say we just plot a course and hit everybody on the way.
All right. Agreed. Who do we leave in charge in back behind us? Or do we all evacuate like it's in one big raiding party?
I think we should. Are we just talking like out of game? Because I'm not even there anymore.
And I'm staying. I was gonna stay behind and protect people that are here.
There you go.
Okay, so the question
I'll
is.
go with Michael.
Okay, so let's go down kind of the roster of people who have already been addressed. So, Idaho, you and Harvey have already taken Marla to a local clinic and dropped her off. Did you leave any sort of contact and information, any way for her to get back in touch with you? Anything?
Shit, I was gonna do just an anonymous dump. Nope, just anonymous dump.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so Marla has been dropped off at a clinic.
I mean, I will obviously take note of where I'm leaving her.
Right.
We can try to follow up, but I'm not leaving contact info that anybody can trace back to us.
Got it. Okay, so she's functionally out of the picture or out of your reach, however you feel about it. Vic,
I was going to call Elisa.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Vic, you are staying behind with Haddonfield and
Ruby.
Ruby and basically the rest of the ghouls.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you staying? Are you just going to stay in the conference room, or are you going to try to relocate to...
I might just stay in the conference room. I mean, if everyone else is going to be going in and out, and I guess I'll stay there at least, so at least people know where to find.
Okay, so that leaves Idaho. Are you bringing Brutus with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Idaho and Brutus, Michael and Al, you guys are venturing out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Idaho, when you get in touch with Alyssa, it sounds like she is at a party when she picks up.
Nice. I'll say, hey, Alyssa, you having fun tonight?
She's like, having a blast. What's up?
Some shit's going down, and it looks like the Cams and the Sabat are trying to bring the heat down on us, and might be some fighting going on tonight. Wanted to alert you so you would know, and if you're interested, we're going to do some patrolling of the city to see what's up.
She's like, fuck, there's no chance I'm going to get back from where I am.
Okay, but I wanted to let you know. Oh, are you not even in the city?
No, I'm up on the north side.
Well, just keep an eye out, because they are targeting...
She kind of owes me.
Not yet, she doesn't.
She owes me for all that bullshit she put me through.
Not yet.
I know.
At some point.
It just stuck
You
in
put
my
me through
craw.
at some
It just
point.
stuck in my craw. That's all.
No.
So,
I'm seeing the future.
Premonitions are coming.
Oh, she was in your
Visions
solo?
appear.
It recaps up.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't put the connection together with the names.
Yeah.
So she can't possibly die tonight, so she has to come with us.
Yes. We all might go down. She'll be staying in there. I don't know.
Like,
I
don't know
just
why I'm
don't
still
know.
alive all of a sudden.
I don't know how I withstood that nuclear bomb, but
Hot armor is the best armor.
shit.
So yeah, so basically I just say, keep an eye out because they're trying to bring the hammer down on us because we kicked the hornet's nest last night.
She's like, oh, well then maybe we'll go kick some more hornets' nests.
Would love to.
Fun.
Keep in touch, girl.
She goes, yep, and hangs up.
All right.
So where are you? So
I'm gonna look at Harvey and say that's how an actual anarch acts.
Mm.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
to which Harvey says, so what's your excuse?
Oh.
So that's when I Diablerize him. You're looking for an excuse to do that.
So where are you guys headed now? Are you guys? I'm guessing you guys are all in the Charger.
Yeah, because he's got the hearse.
Oh, I'm bringing the hearse back. I'm going out with you guys.
Might as well. Well, talking to Michael, would it be smart to just have Idaho meet us and we caravan? Or do you want to be going all the way back to the apartments?
Well, I mean, I just went to a nearby clinic. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
that far, right?
We're not that far away from where the club isn't that far away from an ER.
Okay.
He would have been back.
Just figured it would be interesting if we needed a second vehicle.
I mean, we can still take 2 vehicles.
Yeah.
I know, like I said, I'm just trying to cut time. Rather than you going all the way back. If we caught you, texting midway, but it's whatever.
However you guys want to do it. Whatever. Where to first? We're all back together.
Let's hit up Guilt. See if we can catch the emergency visitors.
So you're heading
possible adversaries.
Okay, so just to clarify, so you're heading north across the city. You're not heading.
Wait. Where's Threnody? Threnody is south.
Probably the least emergency of all the things we need to probably.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to Threnody.
Okay, so Threnodi's where her current haven is located deep to the southwest. So you have a couple different places that you could stop on your way.
We could stop and check the wall on the way, huh?
And Tentos.
Yeah, you could check the wreckers. You could check Nawal's.
Yeah, let's stop by Tentos and Nawal's on the way. See what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to the wreckers, there's activity there that is going on. But it is not, from what you can see as you drive by, kindred activity. There are police cruisers that are there.
Oh God.
Oh shit! They found the cop car.
There are the doors to the gate are not open.
Yes.
Are not open. But there are definitely both uniformed and ununiformed cops that are wandering around the front, poking around with flashlights.
Can we pick up anybody who isn't a cop amongst them?
Yeah.
Like you're attempting to see if there is a non-police officer in the group?
No, a non-human.
That's going to be that would be your wits and awareness, and you're going to need a fairly high number of successes.
Is it one that I can help with?
I'll have a higher wits and awareness.
Or can we aid each other?
Michael has 3 and 2. Al, you have 3. Excuse me, you have 4 and 2. Idaho is 3 and 2.
It looks like I take it, and then
Get it out.
if I can,
Yeah,
we know
so,
it ain't gonna happen. Look at them.
No,
So what
no,
would it be
never
with
say
help?
never.
So we'll say
Never
4.
say never. The Redskins actually won a game.
So 4 and 2. You can add 1 if somebody wants to assist.
I'll give you one.
So it'd be 5 and 2.
So yeah, so it'll be 5 and 2. Wait, hold on. What's your hunger at?
Vic can
5
help.
and 2.
5 and 2.
Vic knows how to spot.
Okay, good luck, everybody.
Big money.
Okay, before I
Yeah,
Telling-
how many do I have left?
2.
Yeah, you can reroll 2.
Shit.
How many?
Okay,
more
I
power have
mean,
you
guys,
used?
do we really?
Well, personally, I don't think that. I mean, to me, the best course of action for Tintos is just to keep driving.
Just keep moving on. Yeah, I'm gonna let it go. I
Well,
say we
maybe
just.
maybe your 3 worked. Hang on now.
If he asked, it didn't.
No, he
That's GM speak right
He
there.
always asked if you want to spend your willpower or not before, because if he told you didn't need to spend it, you wouldn't spend it.
So
Ooh, that's crafty.
the answer is you can't tell.
Yeah, I say we just keep going. Roll through.
There's no way on a drive-through to be able to correctly ascertain if there's anybody who's.
We can stick Idaho's head out the window and just let him
Yeah, I can-
sniff as he rolls by.
Big old sniff.
See?
It smells like motor oil and donuts. Um,
I'm gonna put on some EWA
And
and
bacon.
act the
And
base
racism.
when we drive by.
Idaho's got his head out one window, and Brutus has his head
Yeah,
out.
we're
All right, so we're moving on.
So, heading south. When you get to Nawal's row house, again, that street is eerie for how just unoccupied it is. There's cars on the street, but there's never anybody walking by, and the street looks completely
Ghost town.
empty. If people live in this neighborhood, you've never seen anybody out when you've driven by or walked by.
Well, that sounds like the perfect place that a Nos would want to live.
Yeah, we should have brought everybody here.
Weird.
When you pull in to Nawal's, Idaho, Brutus starts growling.
Oh,
And as soon as he starts growling, you can smell it.
uh-oh.
It smells like Vita.
The V
Oh,
word.
no!
Well, I'll tell the crew what I smell and try to calm Brutus.
So,
Did we decide on 2 cars or 1?
I believe you guys said 1.
Oh, I thought we were rolling in 2.
Whatever you guys choose.
Well, Martha just held up 2 fingers and then changed her mind.
And and I had suggested it before you got back, so.
Okay, then. So I guess who is driving in which car?
I figured it was still me and Brutus and
In the
I'd be with
person.
Michael.
and
Okay.
Barney or whatever his name was, and the Harvey and did Harvey stay? I didn't know. Harvey's still with me, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we couldn't.
He's in for the kill.
So, when you guys pull up into the driveway or up to the front rather, of Noel's row house, you can, as I said, Idaho, you can smell the Vitae, even from the car.
Well then. Okay, Harvey, go first. Earn your keep. It's your turn.
He looks at you like, you fucking coward, and gets out of the car.
No, we're all going. Or at least 3 of us are going, and I let them know. I smell Vitae.
Yeah.
I smell Vitae inside.
So, is everybody getting out? So are you okay? So
Ooh.
question. So you guys are basically all getting out together, stopping the cars, getting out, and grouping up and going.
I'm gonna look at Harvey. Say, Harvey, do you know how to handle it? You had any training in firearms or anything like that?
He's like, I mean, I know how to shoot a gun. I'm not great.
I go, well, I'm terrible at shooting a gun, and I happen to have a gun on me, so here, and I hand him the gun.
He goes, well, that makes me feel really good that you decided to just hand me a weapon that I have no idea if you've used it to kill anybody.
No, I used to belong to a cop, but they
Oh, that's even fucking better.
Harvey, who did you think you were running with? Like, really, seriously?
He's not joking about that. That's the gun he stole from the
Yeah,
cop.
I know, but still, Harvey, what did you expect with us? Come on.
It used to belong to
Get
a
off your fucking high horse.
It belonged to a cami cop.
He's like, oh, that's not any better.
Sure it is. It's awesome.
He's like, so now it's not just the Philly PD against on my ass, it's also the tower on my ass.
They're always on it.
Oh, come on. They always have been. Don't be in any kind of pussy denial.
We got you.
I'm glad you guys were keeping your nose clean at 10 Toes, but welcome to a life of crime.
Yeah, right. Like he hasn't done something worse or dumber.
Anyway.
All right, Harvey, how about you sit by the cars? Keep a lookout.
He's going first. He's got point.
He's like, nope, boss told me to sit at the car. Later, bitches.
Yep. I've got my gun. I'll go first. Shit, yeah, let's go.
We all prepped first and get armed.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking 5 foot me. Let me go in front.
I'm gonna follow the scent of the Vitae.
Yeah, no, he's going in front. He's got Bloodhound. He can see in the dark better than us.
Okay,
right now.
well, I got your back.
So Al,
yep.
As you walk up the steps in the group, you know that it isn't possible, but you feel a prickling at the back of your neck. It is almost what you imagine what glass that is frosting over feels like.
Ooh.
It is a feeling that creeps down the back of your neck, down your spine, and into your stomach.
Michael's right behind me. Does he not notice anything?
Let's go.
This is you. This is you.
Yeah, as you're walking up the steps to the front door. As you get to the front door, it is slightly ajar, and it is the doorknob itself is hanging loosely.
But I'm still in the lead, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, unless somebody says don't do it, I'm just going to keep walking in.
Okay, so you walk into the house. The first thing that you see is the leg.
The leg.
It is a very, very pale limb. Looks like it's about, from where you're standing as you push the door open, it is about mid-femur down. Some of the toes are gone. And the knee is definitely bent in the wrong direction.
Okay.
That leg been twisted off like a chicken wing.
Told you should have just paid for that drone.
I thought Michael did pay for it.
I did.
Yeah, it was paid for.
As you.
I mean, no vampire can compare to a disgruntled human drone owner.
They are very petty.
So we'll continue on.
As
It's
you
the principal.
head into the house, Al, that creeping cold feeling in your gut gets worse. But you also hear a voice that does not sound like the cobweb. It sounds almost as if it is being whispered just behind you. That says, help her. As you walk further into the house is trashed. There's papers everywhere. The formerly neat townhome with all of the books and the research and everything that Noel was known to conduct, all of that's been overturned. It looks like this place has been ransacked.
I'm gonna hunt the place down for her. If it's
I'm
Nawal, if
following
it's
the
whatever.
details.
You know, if
Yeah,
the
let's
voices
let's
continue.
find Noel as soon as we can.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take long. As the group spreads out a little bit, looking into rooms and whatnot, looking into the kitchen, you find her. Or rather, what is left.
Oh, shit.
She is on the table in the middle of the kitchen. On the island, rather. Both of her arms are gone. Her lower jaw is completely gone. Only one of her legs is still attached. And she is deep in torpor.
Well,
Who's fed recently?
who's fed recently?
Yeah, who's got the least hunger right now between the three of us?
Probably me. I don't know.
I had gain.
I also had gain.
I mean, I was just gonna let's collect everything that we can and put her in the car. We're gonna take her back with us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We've gotta.
I mean, this is more blood. I mean, if I started giving her my blood, I don't know what good that's gonna do.
Go get the bed out of the hearse, man. It's the easiest way to get her.
Get the what?
The hearse. Go get
At this point, she's pretty lightweight.
I was gonna say,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
you
sure
could
he could,
probably-
you know.
Let's go, guys.
I'm not. I was just considering the amount of blood it's gonna take to bring her back, not carrying her to the hearse. Gonna search around for if we can find her arms or whatever. Just get as much of her as we can find, and then collect her and put her in the back of the hearse.
Yeah.
You don't find, aside from the other leg, you don't find either of her arms or any of her jaw. What you do find are her lower fangs set perfectly on the lowest stair. They are almost as if they were set there perfect to be found.
Okay.
Asshole's calling card.
And did we not go upstairs during all of our search?
You didn't have to go upstairs to search because because she was downstairs in the kitchen.
Yeah, if Idaho wants to take her out to the car, Michael and I can start heading up the stairs.
Yeah, you guys take her back to the.
We didn't find the rest of her. The rest of her either was taken or could be upstairs. But
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna collect her out to the hearse and then come back inside. So I got her put away.
Okay, so you guys. So who's heading upstairs? Michael and Al,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess Harvey. Is Harvey sitting out by the car? Harvey was guarding the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get his ass in here. We don't need nobody to drive the car.
Well, now that it's got her in it, yeah, he does.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's already like. I mean, what else could they do to her?
Steal her away.
So the heading up. So When you head upstairs, the damage is almost worse up here. Bed's been slashed open, all of the books everywhere, but like this isn't just rifled at this point. This is random chaotic damage. Like just somebody has just raged here.
Okay.
All
We don't
right.
find her arms or anything, right?
Nope.
Damn it.
Do we find her laptop or anything? Is that gone?
Yeah, are there any electronics whatsoever?
No, anything that you would find, computers that are the lone old school Mac that was there, that's been trashed.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go back as soon as possible.
Yeah, let's get in the car.
Well, do we want to all go together with her in the car to the next stop, or have Idaho take her back?
Do we want Harvey to take her back home?
Oh.
And Idaho and us go on.
Well, that would be up to Idaho then.
I don't care. Say, all right, Harvey, take her back. Here's the keys to the hearse. Take her back and put her in the conference room with everybody. She needs to be protected, and we'll figure out getting her back to life.
Have the schmear.
When we have the opportunity.
He's like, okay. Question. What if we get pulled over?
Don't. Give me the gun.
Yeah.
Don't get pulled over. That's not an option. Bye.
Do we have linens in the back of the hearse? Because you sleep
We
there,
must
right?
have body bags.
Oh, we have the velvetest of velvet in there.
I'm just saying, like if we have just something to pull over her for the transport.
Sure. I've got like a ginormous Pikachu blanket in there.
There we go. Nobody will question that shit.
I mean, it's a hearse.
Damn it, another hippie.
It's more suspicious if there's nobody in the back, right?
Mm-hmm. Look, if you get in trouble, just fucking call one of us, okay, Harvey? God, quit being a pussy.
Yeah, just drive. Don't break any speed laws. Don't break. Just go, dude. Go.
Harvey.
For a guy that worked at a record service, he acts like a bitch.
Harvey looks at you guys like you were insane. But he gets in the car and he goes.
Man.
So.
We ain't in grade school anymore, Harvey. Let's go.
Right.
As you head down to...
Where are we going next? The naval base?
We haven't had very good luck thus far.
We're still going to Trinity's part of town.
Yeah.
Right? To get into the thick of it, maybe.
So.
Where is Guilt? Guilt is...
Yeah, Guilt is in the extreme northeast. Trinity, I guess.
Yeah, let me move the map for our viewers.
So when you guys head down to Threnody, her haven is, or her temporary haven, as it were, is an apartment building. She's on the 3rd floor. But when you get there to the building, it is kind of a wreck. You don't think this is because of circumstances related to any sort of other chaos, just that the building is not in particularly good repair. This is definitely the type of place that the seedier side of life hangs out.
Oh, I'm in love.
As you get out of the car, you can hear them. It sounds almost like a rumble of thunder, but when you look up, there are maybe 7, maybe 8, maybe 9, maybe more pairs of eyes looking down at you.
I'm gonna yell at him and say, Harvey said y'all all suck. So we see people looking down upon us from the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not like fires or rioting or shit like that going on?
No.
And are we sure
Do
they're
we-
people?
Do we recognize anybody?
You do not recognize anybody, but
Call Thrinity and tell her we're outside. Or text her or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would have said it if you let him finish it, and then
Okay.
I would have said that.
So texting Threnody, you get a response back almost immediately. That's in all caps. It says, "Be careful."
Get out.
So, you are outside the building now, looking up, and you see a whole bunch of people who are looking down at you.
From inside the building.
No, they're on the roof.
Oh, on the roof.
Oh,
Can we tell how many?
Maybe 8, maybe 9, maybe more. This Al feels very similar to the night that you found Idaho.
I was thinking the same.
No, it was coming to mind. I was like, oh shit.
Is she even in there? I mean, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, "Are you home?"
She texts back a number, 362.
Is that like
What?
some kind of sleeper cell password? What the fuck?
It's a
Yeah.
house
Do I
address.
recognize what that is?
Is there a 362 on the street?
Or it's
I'm not there. I'm just saying that would be my guess. Someone texts me a
I'm-
number. I'm standing on the street. I think it's the address.
I would assume it's like the unit that she's in the building or something, but it'd be better if she would just freaking pick up the damn phone and talk to us.
She may not be in a position to do that.
Yeah. Does anybody besides Vic have Raul's phone number?
I would imagine Michael would.
I would guess that that Michael, even if Michael did not have Raul's phone number, it would not be terrible. Actually, Idaho, you do have Raul's phone number because you got it the night that that you guys went to
Guild?
to Guild.
Oh, nice.
So
Well,
say
I'm
if
gonna-
you guys wanted it too, like he just texted me and asked for his
Yeah, I was
phone
gonna
number.
say.
But yeah.
It's not like I'd.
But
Well,
no, Idaho has it.
all right, I'm gonna give him a call.
He doesn't pick up.
I'm gonna text him. Say we are in your part of the neighborhood. Are you able to answer?
He does not respond.
Do you need backup?
He does not respond.
Yeah, because she had said earlier that she didn't
went
know what he
missing.
was. Shit. Well, do we dare to try to go inside the building or what?
I'd like to do.
I could try to
something.
distract them and let you guys head in undetected, possibly.
Or you could just head in undetected.
What? If we're in the parking lot, I would think that we.
Look, we see a whole bunch of people that we're assuming, I think, is to be Sabat sitting on the roof staring down at us. We text Therinity, and all we got was like a random phone, like
Yeah.
just be careful, and then like 3 numbers. Can we see, like, are those numbers visible anywhere on this road?
No.
What were those numbers again?
362.
Maybe text her and say, "Where are you? Do you need our help?" I mean, what the hell? It's like pulling
It's
teeth.
like,
Yeah, I know.
why no? You need backup. Why dash and backup? Question mark.
You get back a Y. Reasonably.
Okay, well, Biatch, we need to know where you are.
All right, so let's drive back to the apartments now.
You're like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Later.
Out front, if and tending to mine.
You don't get another response.
Get back in the car.
I mean, it's just the three of us and Brutus.
Everybody get back in the car and let's start moving.
Oh, I thought we were still in the car.
Yeah. Oh, we never. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, we just got the people up on top looking at us. Like, do we want to try to rush into the building or what?
Well, we didn't get another response, and that is extremely suspicious.
So.
She said, yeah, she needed backup.
No, she did not.
Yeah, she texted back.
Yeah.
Yes, when you...
Oh,
He
she did.
texted back a Y.
Oh, like a Y, not like a W. Okay, let's go up to like third floor.
Oh, Michael says you don't need backup. Let's go. Let's leave.
Oh, stupid. Sorry.
Awesome. Like, sorry, Trinity. Michael said you didn't need backup. You know, what's up?
You need backup? Yes. Oh, sucks for you.
All right,
That's for
bye.
you, bye.
Yeah, and we need an address, bitch, or you ain't getting no backup.
So, are you guys going to?
These eyes are still on us, right?
Yes, they are still watching you.
I mean,
Are
how
you
tall
guys?
is the building?
It's like 5 or 6 stories.
Okay.
So are you heading in?
I mean, we
Okay,
can.
let's go.
All right. Fuck it. I'm all about fuck it. Let's go. So park and let's rush in.
Okay, so are you like gonna drive around like to a parking lot and then park the car, or are you basically parking in front and then like heading straight in?
Oh,
I'd say at least try to be somewhat shady about it. Like, see if there's a darkened alleyway or
right.
driveway.
Oh, who's driving at this point? It's not me anymore. Is it Al? Or did I jump in the
I-
driver's seat for this one?
Do you have
I
more
would-
drive or do I?
I would think it
That's
would-
really what
I
it come
usually
down
do
to.
the driving, unless
Everyone's at 1.
unless Ruby's with us. I usually do the driving. But yeah, well, it don't matter. I gave Boy the keys to the hearse, and I just jumped in the back seat of the Charger. So whoever was driving the Charger is
Then
still
it would have
driving.
been me.
All right. Find us a place to park.
Yep.
So you're gonna park the car, and then you guys are going to try to find an entryway into the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like a perfect place for our chronicle and session to stop for this evening.
Now wait, don't we have those speed racer vault things on the car that we can land on the roof and run them all over? Don't we have that? Didn't Mara put that in the?
Got a catapult in the trunk?
Remember the Gatling gun she had installed in the? And remember the?
After the
Oh.
attitude that Alice gave her earlier this morning, today, you're lucky you're not on a tricycle.
Oh, we make that work. We come rolling up on our tricycles. Oh yeah.
Low rider tricycles?
Those adult big wheels.
Yeah, we're hardcore. You are muted.
With the thorn handlebars.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we got this. This is our neighborhood.
So, this evening will conclude when next we meet.
Yay, but no.
Like I want to be there, but
I know we need our heavy.
Yep. I'm sure we can find a reason to call him in at this point, in all honesty.
I don't know that I would. I don't. In all honesty, with the attack that's already happened on our home, and now that there's 3 people there, that
I mean, we'll see. We'll weigh our options once we see what the hell happens with this.
Yeah, after this is all over, we need better defenses at the apartment.
I think we just need to fucking move.
You're still on mute.
I know she does it every
Weapons
time she
training.
yawns and then forgets she yawns.
I think it's time for me to make another brouhaha.
Yeah, we're 12.
So, with that, our session, though not our chronicle, has ended for this evening. We will be back here for session 44 next Monday. And
Obama.
And for those of us who are catching up or playing along, we will be back on Thursday for our second session and first full score for Blades in the Dark.
Yes. Well, I want to thank everybody out there in chat and our lurkers for staying with us through this fantastic evening of fun. I've been joined tonight by Nox, our storyteller, Skot, who plays Idaho, Zack, who plays Victor, and Martha, who plays Michael. I'm your Alice. We just want to thank you guys for sticking with us. We've had such a fantastic time through this journey, and we, especially with Blades in the Dark, are open to some new players. If you guys are interested, you can find my Discord information either down below if you're on PC or on mobile. Just go to the About tab and you'll find my Discord information there. I have a great TTRPG channel where you can ask Nox questions. He's extremely knowledgeable about the game. And let us know if you're interested in gaming with us. Anything else? I know it's late. Hairstyling. Well, everybody, thanks again. I will be on tomorrow morning. You can find me here probably, I think I put for 9 a.m., something like that.
I thought you put 5 a.m., wasn't it?
5 a.m. Oh, hell no. I already get up at 6. That shit's too much. No. No. Last minute for any follows. If you guys have enjoyed our content and hanging out with us, we'd love to see you back here every Monday night. All right. We're signing off.
Adios.
See you guys later, and I will get you rated over, so just be patient after I put you on the intermission screen. Take care, everybody.